Good afternoon. It's my first time here, and I really appreciate the opportunity. I'll keep it short and simple because I reviewed Adedamola the day after it came out,
Okay.
and it is a very good album.
My simple points about this album, I think it's contrived in a lot of different ways. I'll start with the songwriting. Bro, Fireboy has been vaulted into a conversation of one of the best songwriters in Afrobeats. And it's a tag, to be honest with you, I do not think he deserves.
Enough lamba. Somebody literally said it's not giving enough lamba. Using Fireboy and putting low or mid in the same sentence. Are you okay? What do you mean that Fireboy is not all that?
Anyway, all right, guys. I think that's about it for new music outside of Fireboy. Okay, we'll get into the album that has gotten a lot of conversation. Obviously, this was a very anticipated album, and we have it here. Okay, a full-length project from Fireboy. Adedamola is the project, 14 tracks, runtime 40 minutes. How are you feeling so far? I'll just open it up to
Can I say
everyone.
something?
His roots.
I start by saying,
Yes.
and I want, where did she go? She was here
Oh yeah,
earlier.
Simi. Oh, I think she's still here. She's still here, right?
I'm
She's
still
still here.
here. I'm still here.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Simi.
Simi, start off real fast. But before we start, and I know this will play into everything Simi wants to say. Shout out to y'all. I truly love y'all. I truly appreciate y'all
What's happening?
and the energy you have for Fireboy. And I love Fireboy. I love Fireboy so much. His voice is fabulous. He's a great artist, great musician.
Where are we going?
But you see this agenda that you people are coming on the
What
internet.
do you mean, but?
Hey, let me finish. You see this agenda where you people are coming on the internet to tell me that Adedamola is better than Laughter, Tears, and Goosebumps.
Ooh,
You don't
okay.
you don't have to lie. You can
Oh, okay, fair.
you, you
Actually
can
agreeing. I
you
can't
can
Yeah, I
lie.
mean, no,
you
that
can
agenda is just
say
like,
you can say it is a good album. You can say it's a good album, but you do not have to the agenda don't need to reach that side. Okay, that's the only thing I wanted to say. Personally, I'm not a fan of the album like that, but
Eee,
shout out,
Hey,
shout
okay.
out,
now,
everybody.
now, now,
shout
now,
out,
that's where you
shout
need to
shout
get
out,
crazy.
Okay.
That's mad, man.
Okay.
shout
All right. We
shout out.
let Simi kick it out
Just
before we pause on. Whatever.
yes, just let me go ahead.
All right. Simi, what are you saying?
I actually really like the album. I feel like, okay, let me explain. I feel like with Fireboy, after LTG, I had like zero, like I had really bad expectations for him. Do you get? Because he came out with like, I can't remember the name of the album, the colorful one.
Playboy.
And
Playboy.
I think the one that had New York City Girl or
Oh,
something like that.
Apollo.
He came out with that one and was like, okay. Like after LTG, I was expecting more from you. Then he came out with the one after. And it was also really, I don't like to call music bad. I'll say I didn't like it. Right. Then he came out with this one. And I feel like because I had my expectations were like low, like really, really low. That's why like I was able to accept it a bit more. I agree with Belema that I don't for some reason he peaked at Laughter, Tears, and Goosebumps, and that's really sad for an artist to peak at their first
Okay.
project. Like that's really tragic. But I will say that Adedamola is very, very close. Okay, not very, very close, pretty close to LTG. Like in terms of like features, he did very well with his features. In terms of like he tried really hard to make it a very versatile album. I feel like I feel like there's some songs on there that he needed to finish. Some songs on there sound uncompleted to me. I'm not going to list them. Like it's just like when you have an idea and it's close to being there, but it's not there, and then you just push it to everyone. There's some songs on there. The song with Loj was really really good. Like it was 10/10. I like that song.
Okay.
Um, there was another one. Give me a second. Let me try to remember. I think the one with Loj was the one that Hell and Back was also really good. The one with the Kuti, what's his name?
Sean Kuti?
The guy, yeah,
Ecstasy.
that was really really good as well. And those are like the standout songs to me. I'm here to defend because of people have been dragging Fireboy unnecessarily. What do you mean before he dropped his album? People already said, like it's going to be a flop. Do you get? I feel like you can feel the effort he puts into the album and making it like a listenable body of work. And I'm here to like defend that effort because I feel like if he continues in this path, he could be more. I feel like the albums before, he was very unauthentic. Like, he was trying really hard to be somebody he's not. But with Adedamola, it was a bit more true, like, closer to home, if that makes any sense.
Right.
That's all I have to say.
Okay. I understand the sentiment there. Like, it's interesting that you kind of skipped over Apollo as not being a good follow-up to LTG, but I think that would be noted that a lot of commercial value was tilted more on LTG than Apollo, but I definitely hear that. Any thoughts on Simi's submission so far?
I have some questions.
Yeah. Can I say something? Can I say something, please?
Okay.
Can I say something?
Yeah, Daco, go ahead.
Okay. Simi quite said everything, to be honest. You know, it's sad that.
She said it.
Wait. Simi quite said everything, to be honest, because it's sad an artist has to pick at their first drop. You feel me?
I don't. Okay.
Now, I'm going to put it because LTG is Fireboy's best album. I don't care what anybody wants to say. LTG is Fireboy's best album. Now, I'm going to put it as he was going through an identity crisis. I don't know if that's the best way, but an identity crisis.
Yes.
And now, Adedamola, he has, after dropping Apollo and Playboy, that just didn't really hit like that, in my own opinion. Adedamola just does it. It's like the nearest, very close to LTG. And you can clearly see how accepted it is through the music space, the music scene and everything. So, yeah, I mean, he did well with this one. I won't even lie.
All right.
I'm glad he sat back, had some, whatever he went through or whatever.
Okay.
And now give us some quality something.
Okay. All right. Appreciate that back and forth. I think it makes sense. I know we are gonna get more submissions on this, and please try to keep it as finite as possible. In terms of the order now, I think we've gotten Taj. Belema, did you want to go before or?
No. Me, I've said everything I want to say.
I have
good.
Taj, then Dante. Yeah.
Then Gold Boy. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm a record. Like I always cruise Fireboy generally. I think I relate to some things that the lady speakers Simi, right? Yes, Simi said. I think it's harsh to say he peaked at LTG. I think that's a very harsh way of saying things because there's a lot of artists, a shit ton of artists that they will tell you their first album is their best album, but to say he peaked there is. I don't know if I like the statement peak.
Yeah, that's not a nice thing to say. I apologize.
Yeah, no, it's your take, please. Don't
it's not an apology.
Please, you don't have to apologize. I'm not his brother or anything. I'm just saying. I just don't want to use the word peak because I think, he delivered another. In fact, I would dare say, I'm going to say some outlandish facts. Although they are facts. Fireboy has the best discography out of his peers.
Oh, bro, we said this the last time.
Yeah,
Thank you.
That fact.
That's
He does have.
Facts.
He has the best set of albums.
Okay,
out
before
of his,
Taj, hold
out of his
on.
peers.
Hold on. So sorry, Taj. Before you continue, I want
Hey,
us
this,
to
you
make
won't
sure.
kill me with thumbs down.
Wait.
Pele.
I want to make sure that we come back to this later, so that it's clear that.
Why is this debatable?
Wait. We will come back to it. I just want to make sure it's clear.
I'm looking at albums.
So
I'm taking away people's EPs away.
Taj said that Fireboy has the best album discography
out
of his peers,
Post
and that.
Post 2019.
And Daco, Deji, and Simi disagree. We'll come back to that later. I just wanted to make sure that it was
take
clear
away
that
EPs before you come and tell me about somebody's EP was a classic. I'm taking away EPs. I'm talking post 2019. Fireboy has the first classic in his class,
bro.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I just want to know, what's your criteria for like the grade you've given him? I just want to know the criteria so I can understand.
Like I believe he has the best set of albums out of his group, out of his group, out of his class. He has the deepest catalog. He has, as we speak, he apart from Playboy, which is obviously a stain, LTG is a classic. Apollo is a good album, and this album is a great album.
Apollo is a musical masterclass. Like
some people might not go as far as saying musical masterclass, but
Apollo is a masterclass, bro. Musically, like you might
no,
not have
I think it's a very good album. I think it's a very good album.
Like
I think it's a very good album, but I think people I understand like when it comes to the singles game and playing the pop game, Fireboy might be very corny and cheesy with things.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the album game,
that's his conversation, guys.
He has delivered three projects that are great.
Let's not even talk about pain game here.
I'm not talking about
definitely that. Like we're talking about album.
I'm just talking about album. I'm talking about quality projects.
Yeah, like
finishing a project, tightening a project, delivering quality music on an album with deep cuts, with nice singles. Bro. I'm sorry, the guy has it. Be 3 projects in now. The only stain is obviously Playboy, which I absolutely don't think is a great album. Yeah. Now, I think what clouds everybody's judgment about him is just his overall brand and his movement. His every other month music ability. Just singles. Sometimes before we got Every Day, we had a run of singles that a lot of them just didn't stick.
Yeah.
A lot of it didn't stick,
and it wasn't even to his own fault. I believe he was a victim, and many other artists too. I believe he was a victim of this. Where the headspace of the mainstream air at that point, like the zeitgeist was just there was a clear shift away from them.
But I also think there is an identity crisis there. I think
of course.
I think Fireboy has suffered from wanting to do what he thinks is right versus doing what he is. Yeah. I think there's always been that issue, right? And just so that we don't speak about Fireboy's whole career now in this talk, let's just talk about album. And I think he brought it back on Adedamola.
Yeah, he did.
Musically, I got what I wanted to get from him. He went back to what he's about. Which is another point I disagree with Simi, is that this sounds like a finished album. It sounds like they had a lot of other songs. They broke certain things down. They removed certain things. They added certain additional vocals. They played it and played it and played it over and over again until they got a concise and finished project.
Right.
So in fact, the another flaw, maybe they even underestimated what they could do. I think ending the project with 4 of the songs that you had already released is telling me that you guys were scared a bit. You didn't want to add a little more to just throw us off a bit. But I understand it, because guess what? It's an album. It's when we're going to go back to this, we're going to go back to this capsule of a project.
Yeah.
And we're going to listen. We're not always going to remember that. I mean, we remember, but we're not going to look at it that, oh, Yawa was a single. Every Day was a single. It's all in the project, right? And it sits perfectly there. I think the writing was good. I think he has not sang this well ever in his career, not even on LTG. Right. I kid you that. There has been no better vocal performance. I think he had a better vocal performance on Apollo than LTG.
Yes, that's why I think Apollo. Yes,
he had a better performance on both. But Apollo, LTG is just that project.
LTG is just that project. It's a great introduction, and it's
a great introduction, and the PR was on point. The message was on point.
And all the hooks were simple and sing-alongable. Like I think that was exactly. The commercial value of it was just immense.
Yeah, Apollo, they basically still there was some sort of Adedamola on Apollo, but this project,
he wanted to show off on Apollo.
Hearing his vocals on the show, Lua, hearing his vocals on Ready, hearing his vocals on Back and Forth, hearing his product on Hell and Back. This is a man that sang his ass off. Seems like he has gone to vocal training or he has a vocal coach.
He definitely got better, bro.
This is somebody that and when you hear those kind of efforts, everything just sits well. And then again, I don't know, arrangement was stellar. Like I said, I just wish we had a little bit more on release record, just so that you don't feel like you are too familiar with the ending of the project.
Yeah.
But I only will say 2 songs that I don't like on this project. One of the songs is one that everybody likes, but I don't really like it. Is the Blabada record. I'm sorry, I'm just not on that. Passive.
Bro, I was saying the same thing.
I'm sorry, I'm not a fan of that record. I will just be on record say I don't like the Blabada record, and I don't like Need Me as much.
Need Me,
I don't like Need Me as much. Apart from those 2, I love every other thing. I love the One Day record. I love Hell and Back. Hell and Back, I'm broken it. Ishe Oluwa, I love that record. Um, the Logie record. You know, him speaking, I saw an interview of him speaking about how him and Logie are friends. You could tell that they made that song together.
Yeah, impressive.
They made it together. I would love to hear a joint EP from them. I don't know how. I never would have imagined that ever, but I would love to get a joint EP from them. And for me, I think it's a solid project. I think it's a solid album. Once again, this man has dropped 3 good projects.
Yeah.
Obviously, one bonafide classic, but 3 good projects. Albums, not EPs, albums. The boy doesn't do EPs, unfortunately, he doesn't do EPs. He has stopped his gun about making full length LPs. And I think that can be his bag. He has a bag here.
That's his bag, bro.
And he's sticking by it. I just one major critique in general. I just think when I think of his peers, I still think he needs to do a lot more work in just tying his brand to the music. I think it's very important that he needs to get people who are willing to do that. Because the truth is, the music states something. The music shows you. I don't get why everything around you does not reveal you. Everything else feels very gimmick. Like, why is your front cover you with gold chains, and your back cover is you in agbada? Do you understand? Like, it's just corny ass, just little things that you could have just tied in together. Your PR, even just the PR around the project, the messaging around the project, just the way you move in general. I don't know. I just feel like he's not as intentional on everything as much as the music. I think they focused a lot on the music and they own that, played a lot of other factors that could aid people to understand the music, right?
Yeah.
Even the lead up to the project, the singles are even very far apart. They are very although yes, they tied it in at the end and made it into an album, but yes, every day was good. We didn't get anything after every day. Even before every day, we was a while. I think it was Yawa before that.
Yeah.
Or we had Obasima and Outside.
Yeah, there were a lot of features in between too.
Yeah, so bro, like, and I think that's what just that just what wins the masses over when it comes to people like Rema. Like, Rema is just, you see Rema, you know what it's about.
Yeah, it's consistency.
It's consistency. It's consistency so crazy that nigga, I see what the guy went to church for crying out loud. Like, the guy is not budging. Like, he's on brand 24/7. Do you understand? Like, and sometimes this brand P is just you. You don't have to. It's your space. Is where you're at right now. If you are, you get, like, you don't have. It doesn't have to feel forced. You don't have to be what you're not.
Yeah.
Sometimes let everything just flow through you and let the people who are business savvy people around you just tie it in together and you run it. So that's just where I just have issues with him, because I just feel like this project could have been presented in a better way. But if I'm just speaking to the music, he didn't feel me at all.
Right.
Okay, I have a question for you. I have a real question real quick. You said something about the branding, that he doesn't show a lot of branding. But don't you think this one was kind of a little bit his personal album? Because he did say that was his personal album when it comes to, like, the front cover, the back cover, and everything like that.
But nothing about this project says personal.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
nothing about the project. Nothing about the project is.
Yeah.
Nothing
I
about
don't
the
think I
project
got
is
personal
personal.
out of the project. It was mostly like you get a theme of gratitude once in a while, but a lot of it
is love and heartbreak.
Love and heartbreak, relationship dilemmas, scenarios.
And these are the issues with them. It's like,
I mean, but then again, like,
let there be consistency. Like, you can't. Your name your project Adedamola. Okay, so you personal is a self-titled, your actual government name, right? We get into the project. Okay, the first song is Sheoluwa. It's a gratitude song. The next record is heartbreak. Next song is heartbreak. Next one is love, heartbreak, love, heartbreak, love. Like, come on, bro. Like, you get, like, there's just those kind of inconsistencies when, like I said, when it comes to just tying everything together. Bro, Rema started a record with Macham. He went into Azaman. He goes into the Laughing record. He goes, like, it's consistent.
That's a concept album. So yeah.
But that's what I'm saying.
And I just feel like he lacks when it comes to conceptualizing certain things and just tying it to his brand. There's something that's just not clicking there. And but for a pop star, I think it should click a bit better.
But my point with Adedamola is that it's like a good start. Do you get, like, you can see where he's going, like, you can see, like, you can tell
I
where
agree.
you can. Do you get what I mean? Like, it's a very good start for him.
It's
It's
like
not
a restart.
perfect.
Yeah.
It's a restart.
Do you get? It's a restart,
it's like a restart,
because he's a bit shaky when it comes to conceptualization. But like, it's a beautiful start. You can see, like, because I feel like my issue with his other albums, like I'm like, okay, where is Fireboy going? But with Adedamola, you can kind of tell, like, okay, in a couple years, this is what he's going to do. Do you get? It's the same thing. Like you used Rema as an example. I feel like when you listen to Rema, like old Rema, you can see his direction, and Adedamola is pretty similar in terms of like you can see the artist's direction. Do you get?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like this feels better than it has been over the past 3 years for him. So it does feel like a better restart, and I hope as they move forward. I thought I said like that's the only thing I can really still stick on them. But like I said, I can tell the ending of the album shows that they were a bit shy. They wanted to play it safe.
Yeah, for sure.
They didn't. They placed all the records at the end because that they already had as singles. Do you get like it's they're still it's like they don't want to offend anybody. So let's still let's try
I think this is just course correction from Playboy. I think he
yeah,
understood exactly what
exactly.
happened with Playboy. He
Exactly.
heard
I
the
think
sentiments around it, and I think this is just him returning to the base.
yeah, exactly.
Returning to
Exactly.
the
So I
base.
think maybe the next one he might
Yeah.
fully tie it in.
Okay.
But like I said, that's like the only thing. And it's just me, like I said, honestly being harsh. It doesn't matter. I don't think it matters. The project is good for me.
Yeah.
I just think, as they move forward, I hope they're able to work on that.
For sure.
And just don't be shy about certain things. Just yeah.
For sure. We have just over an hour again on this album, so let's try as much as possible to get as much speakers as we can. Dante, what you say, my bro?
Yeah, so let me start by saying for me, Fireboy has 4/4 LP catalog,
Okay.
right? Playboy, initially I was wondering where it was going because I was watching a lot of the interviews he was in at the time. And I realized that Playboy was coming off of the success of Peru
Yep.
because it wasn't an intentional record for him. So initially, I thought it was going to go towards how much like bangers can I make with like while not being intentional. And I also saw that towards maybe the ending of him making the album, it was like I need to be a bit more intentional. Maybe it wasn't confident in like doing that completely. So you got some intentionality there, but then you also got a record like having fun that wasn't really my thing. Like
Bro,
I still don't.
that's
Yeah.
his worst record. Let's just put it as
Yeah, so but aside from that record, for me, Fireboy has like when it comes to albums as a whole is like 4/4 for me, and I think that is a phenomenal feat at this stage. Like nobody has like 4 albums, so like for him to have that is crazy. So like when Apollo dropped, I wasn't a fan, not because of the music, but because I wasn't listening. Apollo was like, August 2020. It took 2021 to come because like I have like my own timetable in my head. I don't like when you do this year and you do next year generally for like any artist. I'm like, you're rushing me.
So you were like Burner, I guess.
I don't know. He has been able to, bro. Still, him. Everybody, man. I get to them when I get to them. You don't know, so I'm mad, so I'm not bothered. So,
I love it.
I just figured that all right, this thing, but then 2021 came, and it was actually where I even was at the time. I was like, all right, this man is amazing. All right, so that has been like my journey with like Fireboy's albums. Obviously, I love LTG. LTG, classic. Now for this album, it's a great album. It's a really good album. It reminds me of a conversation which I used to disagree with this person. The person used to point out to me who he thinks are the Nigerians Fireboy makes music for. And those people are not necessarily people that go for somebody who is trying to be a playboy. So I think at some point there might have been a disconnect with that audience. And I think he will definitely get that back with this album.
1000%.
With this album, right? So when we talk about like, oh, it's branded as, I always think like that's the thing because those people don't necessarily get branded like that. And we're talking about how dark the cover art is initially. But then listening to the album, I was trying to make sense of it, and I was like, maybe the cover art doesn't even feel that dark. Maybe it's just like, oh, I'm gonna go monochrome, and it's gonna be like this whole thing will like go down, because the album does scream African luxury in a sense. with like the instrumentation and like the production, which in my own ears, like it's phenomenal for me. I love the production. I love the fact that it feels like there was post production, right? It feels like there was a lot of like touching here and there, and we took our time with it. The main record I is really not my thing. Is Yawa. I still don't. I can't stand it. So like. I kind of wish they didn't put that on the album. I love that they gave Obasimba a new life. I love that. I love that because like I said, they should have kept outside inside, and or give it to Black Bones. That would have been. I wish it was like a Black Bones record. Maybe that I've been able to like accept it a little more. But because I was at a point like, because I'm a fan of Fireboy, and I was like, I've never seen Fireboy as a fully Afrobeat artist. I saw him as like in this singer songwriter folk music mixed with like Afro pop kind of bag,
Yep.
and I got that with this album again, and I really appreciate that. I appreciate it on records like L and Back, which was kind of more R&B in a sense. The record with Loj is nice. I really like that record more like by like the third listen. The first listen, it was like these guys were like showing off and trying to drag songs with each other. Second listen, I'm like, oh, this is nice. Then I love the song Lagwaja. I love Lagwaja's music a lot. I study his records a lot. It is so amazing. That man was Afrofusion before Afrofusion existed.
Bro, that
Like
that that fusion of orchestral like opera atmosphere with like strong juju efforts, and he did it in Never Far Away, and you can definitely see them try to make some parallel with
the
it
record
on
taps
back and
into that
forth. Yeah,
nostalgia.
yeah, bro, and I absolutely loved
Yeah.
it, man.
Yeah, so I love that, John Baptist keys,
Bro, John
and
Baptiste, bro.
that's like even like having see, here's the thing, like if you see the track list, right, and you see interlude at the end, you're gonna be like, why is the interlude
Interlude
for
at
the
the end.
album at the end?
I think
And I'm like, I
they
like
should have
that.
titled it interlude, but
But to be honest, if you're going to do that, I like when things are just abstract out of the blues, right? So that if you want to put your interlude at the end, let's do it, man. Like you've already done justice with the music, and
yeah.
I'm just like, all right, bet. Like
But
if
it
you want
defeats
to,
the purpose of the word interlude. It was like
yeah, I get that. It's
you know
choosing
what
to
it
be
reminded me
stubborn.
of? How annoyed I was when he called the song Afro High Life. It was the same way. I don't know
Oh,
with
on
Fireboy.
Playboy. Yeah,
Yeah, like
yeah,
there's the way he
yeah.
titles songs. Like High Life is African in a lot of ways. So adding Afro on top of High Life was a bit funny when the song now came back to be a lot more Afro beats like Fela, like
Yeah,
techno, and it was interesting wording for the title here. And this John Baptiste interlude as well, coming at the outro was just funny because the interlude is supposed to be like an intermission, like it's supposed to be in the middle, it's supposed to be a break and transition into something else, which is coming at the outro. Or that might be like a very subtle way of okay, there might be some follow up to this project in one way or the other,
maybe it's gonna
perhaps.
release a deluxe for the first time.
Perhaps, but we'll see. We'll see, man. But I thought
We'll
it was
see.
interesting that I had interlude as the outro.
Yeah, me, I just took it. I was like, yeah, if that's your edginess, all right, I'll take it.
Right.
So yeah, for me, bro, like I was saying, this album is great.
Yeah.
It's a really, really good album, like genuinely, and it shows, like I said, it took its time,
Mm-hmm.
and I appreciate that. Like this is work at the end of the day, and you took your work seriously,
Right.
and the result is showing that. Like I really don't care what like the album does, right? It would be great for him for his career, but like personally, the music is amazing. It's exceptional in
Right.
its own sense, right?
Right.
So yeah, so like
Yeah, it's
that's
good.
just my
It's
own
good.
1 cent on it. Yeah.
And one fact to add to the point you're about to say about how the album performs, I'm with you on not caring too much as to how the album performs, but we also noticed that this is coming right just before the Grammy deadline as well. So and we are seeing records like or moments like John Baptiste. So there's a bit of a strategic play
You know what?
with the album, and I'm actually excited about that, and I think it's a good look for him to see how far he can really punch, and the material too can actually hold weight depending on every other release. But I think it's good campaign for him into the
It
Grammy.
is good campaign for him at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Because I had moments of that while on the Lagbaja record, and I
Right.
was
Right.
like Grammy, but then I was like I'm not gonna think about it. If you get it, you get it.
Exactly.
But yeah, but yeah, I also would like to see him tour with this project.
For sure.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Yeah, so that's it.
Appreciate that. All right, Deji, what's up, my guy?
Yo, what's happening, man?
We day.
I've been excited to come onto this thing for a while because I've been seeing a lot of talk on the timeline, a lot of album of the year talk, and I'm like, yeah, I need to step in, man, because there's something wrong. There's something wrong.
All right, let's hear it.
Okay, so my simple points about this album, I think it's contrived in a lot of different ways. I'll start with the songwriting. Bro, Fireboy has been vaulted into a conversation of one of the best songwriters in Afrobeats. And it's a tag, to be honest with you, I do not think he deserves. Now, with this album, for example, part of the reason I find it extremely contrived is that, dude, so Fireboy was an English student in university, right? It's like he studied, apparently, I think that was his major in uni. But it comes across because he has a consciousness, I think, of what good songwriting is. Like he has the idea, like he studied all the greats. But in my opinion, my issue with him is that it's like he has the rubric and he just does exactly what the teacher asked for. That's how I describe his songwriting. Like he does exactly what the teacher asked for. There are no unique turns of phrase. There's no signature moments. The lamba is lacking. It's just like, this is what a good song should sound like in theory and on paper, and I'm going to replicate it. That's how I feel about his music. So I find his writing...
I'm going next, I beg.
Okay. No, you got it. No, you go for it. So I find his writing very pedestrian and predictable at times. And when I think about like Letting Go with Loj, bro, there's a contrast there, in my opinion. Like I look at Loj's songwriting and I look how he's attacking the song. And in my opinion, he's just, you can see the difference. Like lines like, even though this is like an isolated thing, like Afrobeats, you don't have to be like extremely, you don't always have to be extremely dynamic. Some lines can be simple for the purpose of singability, but like lines like, let me tell you about Julie, every other day she swears she did love me truly. I can name 50 lines that exactly like that's why I know exactly where you're about to go with it. I know exactly what you're going to do, and it gets very exhausting. Now, on this project as well, bro, that sax, I've been seeing it get loaded a lot. Bro, that was another thing that I thought was extremely contrived. For example, on the Lagbaja record, which I'm so glad somebody said they didn't particularly like it, because I was of that opinion as well. It was kind of off tune. And I mean, I appreciate like the nostalgia aspect of it, but it kind of, even because of that, came off a bit like nostalgia bits. But you know what? I'm happy Lagbaja is back. You know, I'm happy he's out of retirement. Shout out to him. But like, it just didn't work for me. Like the record didn't work for me. And the sax on Ecstasy, it felt like one of those things where it's like, we're going to art it out on this project. And I'll give you another example. The interlude at the end, the John Baptiste like interlude, that is like the perfect example of what I speak about when I talk about contrived. Because bro, that outro is unearned. I don't care what anybody says, it's completely unearned. Like after the Everyday record as well, to transition into that, bro, it was such a jolt of like, this is an outlier. Like, what is this? And I get that it was like supposed to reflect Ready, which is, in my opinion, is one of the better records on the project because he's singing his ass off and that dude can sing. Like, I'm never going to dispute that. But like, it was one of those things where it's like, I could feel him trying to make an artsy moment. And in my opinion, I don't think it particularly landed. So there were just a bunch of things that, in my opinion, is like, I wish he would, like, I understand going back to basics because with Playboy, it was like, he experimented a bit and people didn't like it. But bro, like, I honestly so the way I look at Fireboy, for example, when I think about Peru, right, bro, I don't think it's a coincidence that that's one of his most successful records, primarily because on records like that, especially with the more Afro-pop leaning, like faster records that for the club, you can tell he thinks less. He's at ease in those environments. Like he's not thinking too much about trying to make the record sound like it's
his most shallow song.
It's his most shallow song. And I honestly think he thrives in that, in my opinion, I think he thrives in that lane. Like when he just basically switches off the brain that's like, okay, this is how we're going to make a good record, and he just vibes. That's honestly how I feel, because a lot of the bright spots on this project for me are like Obasima, Everyday, like the more bouncy records, you know. But yeah, I mean, I just found it.
What about One Day Bop?
I like One Day Bop as well. I thought it was also super interesting how similar it was to Ichoke. So Ichoke off Legend or No Legend. Right. They have almost the exact
strings in the
yeah, exact, yeah. Almost exact. And I feel like it might have been one of those splice things. Possibly, you know, it's very possible. But yeah, so I was just going back to like the music on the project. I think one of the issues as well is like a lot of the beats, like the slower tempo, more mid-tempo beats, they leave a lot of space for him to, like, you know, on certain beats, the impact of your words is ratcheted up by a million because it's like, okay, there's nothing else to distract you. There's no layers. So we're just focusing on exactly what you're saying, right? And in those moments, I feel like he doesn't deliver. And there's a bunch of records on the album that I think have that quality to them, but I'm not going to go too deep into it because I know it already sounds like I'm hating and niggas are looking at me like,
it's a different perspective. I definitely won't see.
Yeah. So it's just ultimately the writing hardly witty, provocative, attention grabbing. It colors within the lines and toes a wide path that I think is covered in footprints. Like it's been done. All of it's been done before, and even it reflects, in my opinion, in the conversations that we're having. Because everybody's saying good, but nobody's really talking about moments. Like, we're not talking about moments. We're not talking about, like, oh, did you, that parts of it that I was like, oh my,
yeah.
It's just
I was hoping to highlight. at some point because
okay, fair. I'd love to hear what your moments are.
I think so. The thing is that you know what? Trust me, I understand. Especially that writing thing, 1000%. I think it's fact. I think he's one of those people. You know that video of Joe Boy speaking about playing game. That's Fireboy. You get, like, Fireboy thinks, like, there's a certain way to write good English and write good music. He has suffered from that because he ends up saying things that, and it's like, even in all this your English, you know, sometimes you say some of the most low-hanging things ever.
It's low-hanging fruit, bro. Like, I feel like let's cut you off.
There's a line about low-hanging.
That line is amazing. That line is amazing. I'm going to say that. But let me just even add to that, Taj. Like, I feel like Fireboy is going to make a song, and this is me just being extremely random, but a song called Undercover Lover one day. Like, that's the kind of vibe that he's on.
That's the kind of guy he's, right?
Yes, like, he's going to make a song called Undercover.
You can predict some of the things he would do.
That's hilarious.
It's the cheesiness and corniness that he comes with. But I think
all of this can be applied to LTG.
Of the project, sorry?
All of this can be applied.
But LTG had hits.
I know.
He had bangers.
I know. And I'm saying they just points it, I think, across the board. That's a Fireboy, like, assessment. Across the board. And
yes, I agree. It's on Playboy.
You know what?
Yeah, that doesn't follow as well.
It's in everything.
Yeah, it's something you can't avoid. But what I don't agree with you, Deji, is the Bop records. It's hard for him to consistently do that. I mean, he tried out with Playboy and it was ass.
With the Bop records.
He can't, like, the Bop records. He has to give us in those. He can't. If you think he should do Peru consistently, the corniness it will be.
I honestly
feel you 1000%.
It will not work. Trust me. Like, so sometimes this is musical, like you said, like, ideology is where he really even can captivate us to an extent. I feel like when you start,
when you start
putting him in those Bop records,
brand he has.
Peru is really an anomaly for that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything went naturally. Yeah. I think you put him in that same studio, do another Peru 9 times, 8 of those you straight away.
Flop. Yeah. Right, so let me just end.
So I don't think he should be involved, please.
Yeah.
Let me end on two things. So I read the outro, the liner notes for the outro on Apple Music, right? And his explanation for it was that it was supposed to be a palate cleanser. He specifically said, "You just listen to greatness. Now just something along the lines of just relax and, like, take the music back in." So it's supposed to lead you into a repeat of the song, and that's kind of why I'm speaking to about things that are just contrived. But yeah, that's besides the point. My final takeaway from it, and it's the, like, lasting opinion that I think I have. It lacks character and it lacks dynamism, and that's where I'm going to end.
I disagree on character.
I disagree on dynamism.
I disagree
on
heavily on dynamism.
I
disagree with dynamism.
You don't cause problems.
Yeah, and I think there's a character here, and I think you've actually assessed the character.
You basically assess the character. You don't
like. So let me say, I dislike the character.
Okay,
let's put it that way.
Yeah, I think you don't like it.
Yeah, you probably don't like the character, but there is a character.
Let me say something. What the point Deji has made, everything that I think he has an issue with is for that particular audience that I was speaking about.
Precisely.
All those things
Precisely. It's like the people that think pen game is just English, like
they don't
literature.
Have the process, the layers of, like, the songwriting. I think you can't digest, like, easily. I think he's a good songwriter, definitely.
Right.
But, like, to a very good extent, you can easily get what Fireboy is. Once he paints the picture, it's straight to your face. And those are the people that are his audience.
Right.
Yeah, it's like how some people can't stand singing.
Yeah, this is exactly.
But some people look down the
That's
hill.
a great comparison.
Exactly. No, it's perfect.
It's like it's like
It's a
Tiwa and
perfect
Simi.
comparison.
It's like Tiwa and Simi. People feel like Tiwa is probably a little bit more, I don't know, like witty with her writing and interesting. You know, she has very
More provocative
statements.
Yeah.
And Simi is just the girl next door that's
Yeah, that's kind of safe. Yeah, she's kind of safe. She's like, and there's a level of comfort people get with Simi and Fireboy when it comes to their writing. I think that's the thing. It's yes, and and in a lot of ways, it's playing into the balance of the ecosystem. There are some people that just have comfort, like food, essentially, and there's other guys where you're going to for more risque, more edgy, more like provocative.
Let me say one more thing.
Approaches. Yeah.
Let me say one more thing and I'll end it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it has to particularly be risque or experimental.
Right.
I just think it has to like jolt your heartbeat a little. Like I listened to Chike's project, right? And I'm not the biggest Chike fan. I like the first project because it was during COVID and I used to clean my house. That shit was awesome.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I would get tired with him because it's like, it was this one theme and just like that kind of very saccharine, very sweet, very safe music. But on the latest project, bro, he has this one song called Not Your Daddy, which is like, dude, like, I love that you're trying stuff. I love that you're being toxic in doses. I love that you're also shedding that ultimate, like, oh, I'm only this guy image. Because it's just something that keeps stuff interesting, you know? And I feel like with Fireboy, those moments are missing. But I promise that's the last thing I'm going to say this time.
Yeah.
Not this time.
And to be honest, he tried that with Playboy. And we lashed out. We lashed out.
Yeah,
he's responding. He tried that with Playboy.
Maybe that's what it is.
No, but it's great to always hear different angles from it. I think it obviously expands the conversation a lot more. So I appreciate that, man. I know we have Casey Brown.
Yeah. Hi guys. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Okay, before I get into Fireboy, I think you mentioned CK's song that dropped earlier before, and I think Bayani and Ruga. So I wanted to just say something quick before I jump into Fireboy's album. Okay, so for CK's song, I heard it, and I don't know what they were thinking putting it out now. I mean, I don't know what that flute thing that they're playing is, but all it was reminding me was like they saw Casey do something and somebody wanted to try and implement it, and they didn't have the good sense to figure out the best way to do it in a song. And it was just clashing. And there's something that CK has been doing ever since that Boyfriend EP and the song that really blew up. There's how he sings that kind of pisses me off. There's a way that he kind of sings, like there's how he's sounding.
I think we spoke about that.
Yeah, we did. I don't think it was here. I don't think it was here.
He's not in his love one TT bag. Basically, that's what he's saying.
No, there's a certain cadence, there's a certain melody he goes with.
No, he changed how he sings differently. Like it wasn't how, like his Love One TT Boyfriend EP. He doesn't sound like that on any of his new records.
Right.
And I don't know what that is about.
Yeah, it's like he's talking, singing.
Yeah, we spoke on it.
It's weird, and it's like he's singing through his nose.
Yeah, it's nasal too. But there's a few more nasal singers, but that's that's
anyway,
besides the point.
Wahala is even better than the new one that he dropped.
Yeah, Wahala is better for sure.
It's close to that Love One TT bag anyway, so I don't know what he's
doing. But
anyway, so I heard the record and I didn't like it. So moving on to Bayani and Ruga, I really love that record. I heard it and I had it on repeat throughout. I think yesterday and today. It was a good enough record. It was a good enough record. So moving on to Fireboy's album, there's something I want to say. You know, people have a lot of opinions and it's really good. You know, everybody can have opinions, but there's a kind of insult that has been coming to Fireboy's way since, I don't know if it's since the Playboy album or something, that has been really very weird to witness. And it's really crazy because when you think about it, Fireboy is one of one in the music industry space. Growing up as a singer, it was very hard to find somebody to relate to. One of the first people I could relate to was Wandy Cole. And then coming up into the space, I wasn't able to really relate to Wizkid or Davido. But then Fireboy, Oxlade, Joe Boy, all these people came up as singers and they were doing something different. I was like, okay, I see where I can head to now. Now, of all these people, Fireboy came out with LTG and destroyed the whole space. Then he came out with Apollo and did something else different. Then he came out with Playboy and was like, okay, let me try something else. Playboy is actually a good album. There's so many songs on there that people went on that radar. Songs like Timothy and other ones, but people miss them. He went under the radar because he said the album is not his style. Okay, no problem. He has come out to Adedamola that's good. You people are finding things to say. Where was all these things when Rema released his album? Where was all these things that you people are mentioning when Rema released his album? You're mentioning lyrics, you're mentioning pen game. It's not a pen game. I don't understand. Where was all this opinion when this guy dropped the album he dropped?
Casey,
There's nothing like wait. When you're talking, I don't say anything. Let me finish. No.
Wait, Belema, don't drag it. Belema, don't drag it.
Admittedly, I was not on the space after like Rema dropped his album. I was just looking at everybody's comments on it on Twitter. But like Fireboy dropped this thing, people were praising this thing. Next thing everybody's mentioning like, it's not all that, it's not all that. Let's everybody say it's not up to LTG. Even if it's up to LTG, and so what? It's the guy's hard work that brought it. Look at, I was listening to the album. Isholo was nice, Come was nice. I remember listening to Ecstasy and I was like, wait, what is this? I had Ecstasy on repeat because I was like, okay, let me move on to the next song. It was not Hell and Back. I could not move on. It was on repeat. I skipped Letting Go back and forth. Then I got to Red. I was like, okay, Red is fire. Until I got to Wandy Sport. I don't know how Fireboy does it, but he's able to channel Wandy Cole at will. And that thing is crazy when you think about it, because the two Wandy Cole songs he's done have been mad, which is Peru and this Wandy Sport. They've been fire. So now, this guy has been doing all these things and singing lyrics, and you're telling me that his lyrics is commonplace. Bro, go and write what he's writing if it's short for you. You know fit. And person they write that kind of thing, and he's writing it as an Afrobeat record, and you people are making noise. But you people are complaining that Afrobeats does not have substance. It does not have good lyrics. Everybody's doing too much lamba. Person can't they write better thing. Now you people are making noise that he's saying too much. He's not giving enough lamba. Somebody literally said he's not giving enough lamba. Using Fireboy and putting low or mid in the same sentence. Are you okay? What do you mean that Fireboy is not all that? His song is not this one, it's not that one. What are you saying, bro?
Loud it.
See, oh my God,
Fireboy has
guys,
no album. I'm even pissed off that Oxlade has not dropped his album. Oxlade has been announcing his album, and then Fireboy announced and dropped. I'm even pissed off at Oxlade that why is his album not out?
It's coming this September now.
Bro, he's too far away from me, so as far as I'm concerned, why is he announcing and it's all the way far like that? It's pissing me off.
Okay.
Because I really want his album to come out, because his EP in 2020 was fire.
Yeah.
So I want to hear what he will do as an album. So now, Fireboy has done what he has done. As far as I'm concerned, he has a 4/4 in his albums as an Afrobeat artist, which is not beans. Then John Baptiste is playing keyboard. They are saying that is risque. Why is it the last song on the album?
I don't think.
Who are you, bro?
Okay, whoa.
Who are you?
Okay.
No, this is not funny because I as a singer and as a songwriter, I know like how it is to like arrange an album and like listen and over listen and be worried about how a lot of things will sound. And then somebody that has done 4 albums back to back. Rema dropped that his album, bro. Everybody can say what they want to say about how it's a rave online and everything, but everybody was complaining the same day it came out that thing was almost noise. But nobody said anything about the lyrics. So you want to put Rema and Fireboy on the same lyrics plate? Are you kidding with yourself?
Rema is a better writer than Fireboy.
Okay.
And you know
the way better writer at that.
Okay. All right. Casey. All right.
To round up.
Let's round up.
I think Adedamola was a really great album. Hell and Back. I like. I saw he dropped a video promoting that song, and I really like that he's promoting it because I think Hell and Back is a very fantastic record, and I think that everybody should be very careful about the things that they say, because it's looking like they look like Fireboy is the easiest person to be insulting, whether they mean to or not. That's how it's coming up and it's coming across, and it doesn't make any sense.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Right, cool. Casey, real quick before we transition, no one is hurling insults. You don't need to say somebody's a bastard to insinuate that somebody's a bastard. When you start asking the person that, are you sure you know your father? That's the same thing. I'm trying to think, bro, but you keep throwing me more combos, bro. Yeah, man. I don't think I've seen Casey crash out like this, bro. I mean, I hear it. I hear the passion, bro. I hear the passion.
I need somebody to play Ozema, because that's the definition.
Can I see?
I mean, and again, it was just one submission.
He said,
Yeah. Here's my thing with what Casey said. I don't have a problem with it. I think, but like, let's not do that.
Yeah.
Fireboy is a good writer. Remy
No, but if people don't find him a good writer, that's not even like a. Let's not even try and. Yeah,
Don't
like let's not.
entertain it.
Yeah, no. You're absolutely allowed to say it. What do you mean?
Fireboy and Victoni are in worlds of their own.
Yeah, it's just a difference of opinion.
Is a good
man, it's not an opinion thing.
Yeah, it's very opinionated.
If you don't find
of
Fireboy a
course.
good writer, then I'm sorry your school
Yeah.
system failed you. You probably need to go and redo masters in Canada. Maybe
No, but Iman, jokes aside, the pen game,
because
like
it's not funny.
conversation.
See, this guy needs to go and watch that Joe Boy video. Now these people
LOL. It's okay. Appreciate the case. I don't really want to take away or even try and see if we can double down or do it back and forth. I know we have more speakers and we'd love to hear it. And we know where a lot of your your submission like was let's say motivated from, because literally this was the singular submission that was opposing a lot of what has been said. So
AMC Deji, and there's a lady. I don't know if she's still here.
Oh, was it Simi?
I was marking them, look, bro. Like, see, I'll mark and avoid in the future.
Okay, but you know why this is so funny? Because when Simi came here,
she was defending.
She was very.
She said she wanted to defend.
She came here was that she came to defend Fireboy's album.
Yeah.
So I think.
And she just gave a lot more nuanced submission than we expected.
I think it's okay.
And it's nuanced at the end of the day, bro.
Yeah. It's okay to like something and still think it's not good.
And both of them still gave the positive points as well. They actually added both their positive points on many of the aspects that worked for them. So it's never a case of absolute rubbish or absolute like amazing masterclass. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't always have to be that. So I understand the passion of hearing some things that you disagree with, that you consider negative. But bro, let's not have this like raising our voices type of like passion-filled agenda against whoever is coming to create more nuance to the conversation. I like that we're hearing people opposing the takes that we've heard already. It makes for a much more robust conversation. So let's encourage that than like slam people down for it. Okay, that's my own contribution to that, but appreciate you regardless, Casey, for lighting up some fire. I hear it.
I do masters in Canada.
All right. We'll move on, man. So Adedayo is here. Love it, bro. How are you saying, Adedayo? It's been a minute. And then we have Pepe.
What's happening?
We did. Yeah, we can hear you, bro.
Yeah, it's been a minute. I don't think I've spoken here in like months.
Bro, it's been, I think it was before, because I wanted you to come back for the Rema conversation. I can't remember.
I have enemies. I have serious enemies because of that stuff.
A lot of persons were waiting for him.
No, because anyway, let's get to this one though.
Yeah. You know what? I have two like different opinions, right? There's a part where I agree like 97% with what you said, and there's a part where I also see the other side. So number one, the album is a good album. It's an engineered album. It sounds like something that was made in the lab. It's a very, I don't want to say safe album, but it's an album that objectively Fireboy cannot make a bad album because he cannot make a bad song. The songs it's always going to make a good song. They might not be great. They might not be out of the water.
Having fun might say something, but go ahead.
Yeah, they will just be good because he cannot objectively make a bad song. You understand? Like he knows music, he knows the rudimentary, he knows, and that's what they say. Like there are things like and it's not just him alone, but I think with him it's very, very more pronounced.
By the book, yeah.
Yeah, by the book, and when he does it in his music, he also kind of like that's what I don't enjoy the most, when he try to now like interpret it in person and now go and shalaye in real life and talk about Afro life and stuff like that to sell it. Like and Omale is being corny about the whole thing now and like just fooling around. It's my guy, I like him, but I mean he's been cooling around and I don't know if he's doing one scripting that bullshit for him. But anyway, shout out to everybody, shout. But so it's been going around now talking about this and this, blah blah. But when it comes to the music, like he's going to free all this matter. You understand? All this cosmetic surplusage. He's going to free everything. He's just going to give you like real stuff. See what he has to say, the way he has to say it, and there's this obsession with pen game. I mean, like the word pen game, like or the phrase, or I don't know if I'll call it a word or whatever, but Matthew, like I despite it disgusts me. It gets on my fucking nerve. When I just hear that pen game, this used to like because it's used to describe people who mostly speak in English.
It's English,
That's,
yeah.
yeah, like for as that's why people would think Remas is like some of the writings are not
Which is
because
bullshit.
there are parts where the writings are fucking crazy.
It's insane.
But I mean I might not like necessarily like the whole part of the album, but there are parts where I have to admit that nah this is when he said that Rema now be that nah me like when you enter a song like that like bro like that's rapper level of entering a music.
I know I agree with you, but no problem.
I beg.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah, so the thing is like so that's for him. That's what is most elaborate about his artistry when it comes to Fireboy, that writing part. And you know what is interesting about it is because when he started, it was right. It was appropriate. He was a rookie making music that like it doesn't understand. Like he wasn't making music like in terms of like trying to like segment a particular listener base. Like it wasn't trying to like it doesn't like I wouldn't say he wasn't in the industry to the point where you would understand that this is how I want to create an album to market, like to eat this market, to do that. You're just making music because you want to make music and I want to make good music and it works. And that's why LTG was really good because it's a rookie album. It's an album from a rookie. It carries a bit of like this heart, this rookie heart in it. There's no like what I was saying doesn't come off as corny. If he says it now, I'm sorry, it's going to come off as corny to me. If you go say this like now, like you missed the point, like you missed it, like you missed the point. I was like, that's shit, that's corny. Like when you say it as a rookie, it's okay. This is your like it's just fresh off the boat. It's okay. But if you're saying 5 years into the game, my brother, come on, man. That's why my favorite part of the song is when I think I put a review this morning because I've been on leave. I don't want to stress myself, but I did this morning and one of the part I like about the song the most is El and Back because that was a song where he domesticated R&B and his lampa was heavy.
Yep.
Like
second verse. The second verse. He
was giving it. You know, okay, fine. This is it. Like there's a way you write. That's why if I want to use like for example domestication of R&B in terms of writing lampa focused R&B, I would like to use like a song like R&B that's Ira Stars Rhythm and Blues as an example, like how you write R&B in terms of pitching, you use pitching, like he was getting it there. But the rest, like I'm sure, like the rest, I wasn't like they were good writing because you objectively cannot have below like bad writing. They are just like what you're used to. So I'm not blown away by it. Not ecstasy. The song by Lagbaja, as I said, it's driven primarily by nostalgia. I do not even like how Lagbaja entered the music. I'm sorry, like I don't like it. Like I don't like how he entered the song at all. Like there's a way enter the song that just feels like this could be better, like it could have had better A&R and everything. I like the ecstasy song. I felt that one too could have. I mean, I didn't put this in my review because again, I have there are things I cannot stay here, so let's just say like that. But like so, like there are things like this is just me. This is not idea that I was supposed to. So this is just me telling you guys like there's this there are parts where I like the fact that
are you just admitting that Adele on pause different from Adele on space? We'll come back to that. Go ahead, my brother.
Isn't that obvious?
Go ahead.
There's this part. Like I like the fact that it's just the sax of Shokuti, and I feel like he could have done a bit more on the song and everything. But again, I wouldn't say I'm blown away. But it's a good album. It's objectively a good album. Okay. It's not. It's a safe album. Again, as I said, I put it in a way that I said it's an album that doesn't demand much from the creator and from the listeners. I'm sorry. Like now, where it gets interesting is that I cannot even me personally. I cannot now demand that Fireboy. How about like be dynamic more? Like give it like punch at this thing a bit more. Don't be this. Don't be like okay. I don't want to say it's a rookie. Like it carries the soul of the LTG album, which is a rookie album, because this at least now it shows his superstar status. Like I mean, he's getting like Baja on the song. He's featuring John Baptiste. I mean, that's not rookies don't get that. Like these are expensive albums. So he's showing that, right? But at the core of it, at the heart of it, it's like really, really template. Even the one day pop is really, I mean, I like it because it's something that offers something different. But I mean, it's something you would come to like, expect from this kind of like pop and everything. Again, and these songs, if he dropped this as LTG, we would have liked it as much as we like LTG because it's not, you get to be able to just accept these things when they come in as new. Yeah. Like these Ogechi guys, like they're new, they're fresh off the boat, their music sounds nice. If they do this thing in 2000, ending of next year, I'll start getting fucking irritated. Like you guys need to stop. Yeah, you guys need to start finding ways to make music that doesn't like. And the thing that there's a critic part of it. There's a when you walk in music part of it. Yeah. Like like I wouldn't. I think Ogechi is kind of like, okay, it's corny, but as if I run a label, I would like that my artist has that kind of song because it's going to put money in our
It's gonna
pocket.
put money for sure.
Yeah, so the things you do in the level, like the things you want to do, you want to evolve. Like when Techno was making that type of music 7 years ago, it was okay for him to make that kind of music. But if you stay stuck and you cannot now like find ways to switch it up, sometimes it becomes an issue, right? So, and I'm not saying like this album is good, like objectively good. It sounds like it is made. It's very safe. It's like it's a very safe album. You cannot find something like you have to actually maybe want to say something bad about this album to want to see it. Like it's something that when you see it, you just ignore it. Like, okay, fine. I don't think I can actually demand this much of him because those who have experimented recently, they've not really enjoyed that much support. To be honest, like, and I'm going to put my hands up and say, yeah, I was really, really heavy on the Rema criticism. Even though people blow out of the water, because I mean, I did call him a visionary. I call him special, talented, generational. They fucking ignore that.
Yeah, that's how it happens, bro.
Yeah, when I did Ravage review, I gave him a 9/10, and people said like Don Jazzy put money in my pocket, and now all of a sudden I'm a Rema hater. And
Don Jazzy didn't put money in your pocket.
That's bro. I do. This is exactly how it goes, bro.
So that's the thing. Like, so I understand that like Victoni really did experimented like on this project, and I mean I wouldn't call it a very big commercial success here.
Yeah,
I mean, critically it's been supported, right? But commercially, it's not really. The album hasn't really hit it off, right? So I don't think the market as it is still doesn't really embrace a lot of experimentation, especially when it doesn't come off. Let's just say that because Ashake experimented, it came off and people fucked with it, right? Mm-hmm. So again, that's why they just perspective is actually coming from a music head's perspective. It's like if we're sitting with the guys in the industry, we talk about it like this and that, this and that. But all of us when we come back in public, like, oh my baba, you try to go up. Like, yeah. So yeah, that's what's up. Like objectively, it's a good album. Like you cannot like I mean it's engineered. Like it sounds very engineered, and yeah, it might not do it for me, but as a critic, I have to give it 8/10. I mean, he cooked it. He knows what he wanted to do, and yeah, I did it right. Yeah. Shout out to everybody.
All right, appreciate it, man. Thank you for the conversation.
Wait, sorry,
man. I've enjoyed a lot of the conversations.
I have a quick question. Are there this or Apollo? Which do you prefer?
I didn't really. I did like this. I preferred as a body of work. I preferred this because it ties together. Yeah. As a music, as for me to pick part of songs, like songs I enjoy, I'll pick Apollo. I can pick more songs from Apollo because it's just again, Apollo is still it's still a big kind of like just coming off the rookie, embracing success, and there's some songs that come off. Like I kind of like Tattoo. That's why if I kind like Tattoo is like Ecstasy is a kind of like something coming off that spirit of Tattoo, you know, that sensual kind of song and everything. So yeah, as a body of work, I kind of like this one better because again, that's why I say this album sounds so very much engineered. It just feels like something that a scientist made. First 7 tracks, mid-tempo R&B, punctuated lastly by the ballad by John Baptiste. This last 7, bit of Bob, bit of this and that, a bit of like Bedu here and there, and then this thing. Then I don't understand that the outro. I don't bother about it. Again, it's these things artists do just to really appear artistic when they don't actually have to do it. It's just like Shay vibes and this guy sampling things they don't have to fucking sample. Muyi sampling one Chinese person singing a birthday song. Like we do a lot of stuff to just make it look like okay, I have artistry. Like you niggas ain't Kanye West. If you guys want to do this and do it well, I'm sure that if you want to sample well. That's why your sampling that comes off are the ones you sample Musliu. You sample AFLA. Like you have like there's context with it makes sense. Yeah, but if you're sampling things that doesn't come off and it just feels like okay, it's just to just make it look like there's elevated artistry, there's depth to it, and that's what it is. I mean, it's when I take it at its own merit, it doesn't add anything to the album. If you remove it, it doesn't add anything. As it is there, it is not adding anything.
That's why you might as well render the album as every day.
Right.
It's just making you. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you could because or put that. The interlude before the John Bellion song. Yeah. I mean, just with the
exactly.
What I don't know what's doing. I don't know the stuff. The stuff was ended. When I had it, I was waiting for the vocals on it, and I was like,
it was just so cool. It was just the case.
I mean, if you work with artists, if you work with artists a bit, like on it, like I'm saying this like on a personal level, like if you've worked with artists and you've given them feedback and you see the way they think about music, you understand that. I swear, like. The things get to them, the pressure gets to them. I swear, if you guys make a noise, not like they're going to do the things you guys like them to do, but they might not just do well, and they just like this and that. I mean, I don't say too much.
No, I appreciate it,
The
man.
next time.
Appreciate
The next time they tell John Baptiste and John Bellion, in fact, the both of them, the next time they tell the both of them to make music with Nigerians, they will run away. Because you people never like anything that they're doing on top of that.
Real quick.
Good now.
Yeah.
The song is objectively good now, and yeah, you guys mentioned the Grammy stuff. Me, I don't know. Man, I'm not saying it too. I'm not saying it. I'm not buying it. Like that word album category. You see that you're making a proper word album. Or let's just face it. You see that you're Davido, you're Bono, you're Wizkid, or you're making music like the fucking guys from India. Like you're not. This is not the type of music that the Grammys will hear and be like, oh wow, like oh crazy. We should give him a nomination. I brother, Burna Boy was making wonderful. This guy was in the jungle dancing with gorillas. Like bro, the guy cooled the fuck out. Like and then he was also doing crazy. Like, have you had Twice and Store? Have you guys had the album? Come on, like, Grammys. I don't calm down, bro. Like,
bro. Anyway, let's keep the ball rolling real quick. Appreciate it, Adayo, for that. Exciting stuff. I have Pepe coming up, and then Lumsey, and we would hear from. I think did Ose want to go? I don't know if I don't see a hand up. Okay, so I have Pepe, then Lumsey. Right. All right. Let's go.
Okay. Thank you so very much for giving me this opportunity.
Okay. Wait. Why is Lumsey thumbs down?
Because I was here before Pepe. Well, it's fine. Industry babies before Lumsey. It's fine.
Industry babies.
It's fine.
Ice cream.
Wait. Was he actually?
Yes, I was here before Pepe.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, no.
Don't worry. If you want the car, come and collect it.
I'm paying attention, so if he was...
Please, sorry. I guess go ahead, Pepe.
Greeting.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no.
Why
I can't believe you interrupted my greeting. Wow. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to speak today. I want to start off my submission by saying, DJ, I love listening to you on the pods. I talk about the albums. I've started off my submission by saying, boo, boo, tomatoes, boo. I'm sorry. They know you boo. Okay, so this is what I'm beginning to gather when it comes to a lot of things when it comes to like talking about like albums and stuff. We either completely ignore like completely ignore whether pen game is important or is not important, or we hop on it too much. I don't think we have quite found the balance, because we're saying absolute rubbish on a song and nobody will say anything that has to do with pen game. It's a banger, is all this, and we'll just completely ignore it. And then somebody will write things that make sense, and they will be like, nah, I wasn't giving what it was supposed to give. There was not enough Lambert. The 2 + 4 + 6 was not. I'm like, what exactly do we want of these people? Because even I'm getting confused. I understand, okay, maybe the songwriting can seem a bit, what's the word that you guys used? Like it feels like you know what's going to come next. It's
contrived?
Like to school. Yeah, contrived. And there you go. Like you know that.
Bruh, I heard that word like 500 times. I've added it to my vocabulary, though. Shout out, DJ.
Contrived, and like it seems very like on the nose and all of those things. Like I get that. Another thing I'm beginning to find is anybody who like effectively, like somebody who enjoys, like if you're a person who loves rap music, there also seems to be a thing about like overly sweet, saccharine, like to the point simplicity.
Right.
And I think that's what I'm beginning to find, because even with like, this is not the first person I'm hearing saying this, and the people who I have heard say this are like really like big like rap music heads. It's like if you're giving me something that I can so easily figure out, it becomes boring to me. So like make it interesting. I, on the other hand, I do not share any of these trains of thoughts. I'm here to tell you that I'm here to come and support Adedamola. That album is a very good body of work. I don't care what any of you people say. Yes, is it on the nose? Yes. Is it? Yes. Anything you want to say about it? Yes. And still, the bottom line for me is that it is a very good body of work. I cannot believe that Fireboy actually tried to convince us that he was a playboy. I don't know what he thought he was, but I'm listening to this entire album and I'm like, bro, you are a lover boy. Just be our Ed Sheeran, for fuck's sake. There's no need. Don't go and be doing all these extra. No, there's no need. Stay in your lane. You like him. Or maybe you can try something else and we'll eventually like it. But you tried it didn't work. But he is such a lover boy thing. And the simplicity in his lyrics, I think, perfectly matches I don't know if you call it the tone or the message or the what's it called of the song. Like for me, it doesn't have to be overly complicated for it to get its message across. I was listening to Ecstasy today. Actually, I listened to the entire album before I came in today, and listening to Ecstasy with the Sharon Kuti like sax, like I was literally in music heaven. I was listening to that. I was like, this is beautiful. I never want to leave here. Like everything about the album to me was fantastic. Isheoluwa was fantastic. The Lagbaja thing, I do not see the nostalgic baiting that you guys might want to put on it. I don't see it at all. I think Lagbaja was the perfect person to have on the track, and it had nothing to do with nostalgia, at least not for me. Because if he had come on it and it was ass, I would have said it was ass. Me, I don't mince my words, I'll say the truth. So all of this to come and tell you people that sometimes things don't have to be overly complicated. Some things don't have to be like, if it passes what it wants to pass across, then it does. And when he attempted at, experimenting and doing something else, people weren't really fucking with it. Like last year, one of my favorite records was Someone by Fireboy. And it was this EDM house mix. Yes, that song was on, like, I ran it too many times. It was like this EDM house type of mix, and nobody paid attention to it. He put out Yawa, which you would think is even more on, like, the, what's it called, like on the Afrobeats, Afro pop train. Nobody was paying attention to it. So now he's gone back to his roots and he's giving you people lover boy, sweet, saccharine, not complicated, just enjoy it. And there still seems to be a problem. And at this point, I don't know what you people want from him. I'm personally tired. As a listener, I'm tired because when he tries, it's not enough. When he doesn't try, it's also not enough. So please, which one do you people want from him? Should he experiment or he should stick to what he knows? Because what is me, man? Like me, I personally love the project. There's so many songs on there I'll go back to. Ecstasy was one of them. Isheoluwa was beautiful. What's the song with Lagbaja? I cannot remember the name, but that
Back
one was fantastic. Back and forth. Thank you. What's it called? One Day's Bop was okay. This is a moment where I'll be booing Emmanuel. Boo, boo, tomato. Because if you watch New Music Friday, Emma was like, this one did not really enter. I say no, but that guy, it entered like mad. It translated like mad. That was a beautiful tribute to One Day, like all of One Day's mannerisms on a song.
Yeah.
He got it like 10 over 10. At one point, I was like, you can really tell this person has really been a student. And that person that came on this space, I don't know if that was 2 weeks ago to come and be talking about One Day Cole. These are the reasons why you should have put WC in your house. Because niggas are out here trying to do his mannerisms on this song, not too much. Yeah. Which other song did I love as well? I'm trying to see, like, at least for me.
Helen Back.
I liked Helen Back as well. I loved, especially that second verse. Adedamola, you will always be famous.
Yeah. On that second verse, I have a question, and in regards to what. Thank God you went there because I kind of wanted to bait you there. So in terms of this songwriting P, right? And you make a very good point about yes, the rap has I don't know. First, although like we do understand the Afrobeats base level is hip hop.
Is hip hop. That's the thing.
So
yeah, it's very.
It's why but then again, there's also the R&B people. There's a lot of R&B Afrobeats fans. R&B is still in our DNA.
R&B is strong too, man.
I think hip hop is first. The R&B is like maybe apart from obviously excluding our local
Fuji
genres and everything, just more so the more Western. I think in our delivery and our writing and our delivery and writing. Let me speak on those two before we even talk about production. It's rap cadences, it's rap, hip hop, witty, entendres, metaphors. Before you get more riffs, runs, harmonies, and those type of things, right? And I think there's people who lay on both sides. Even me knowing how Casey's music is, I can see why he thinks he's angry at the fact that we don't think it's great writing and we think Rema is great writing. While the rappers will be like, Rema is great writing and Fireboy is not that great writing. I think my biggest issue with Fireboy and moving into that second verse of
Helen Back.
Of Helen Back, and I'm going to compare it to the second verse, or is it the second verse or the only verse on One Day's Bob, the DJ Spin Up bit where he says, "Move your body to DJ Spin Up." Yeah. You know. So I think when he tries to get into his rap bag or his cadence or his hip hop side of the writing and delivery and everything, it's quite basic. Now it's quite so. It's like when he's singing and he's writing, like just his regular English writing and the Oxford Dictionary cookie cut English, the simplicity is not really why I don't like. It's simple. It is. It's basic English. It's low hanging, just regular English, right? But when he tries to punch, I get a lot of corny. I get a lot of easy lamba. He clearly lacks that lamba aspect, and that's why I think people hold him to lower standards of writing, right? Because, and then again, I think the pushback also now comes from the fact that people now try to highlight the simple English as the basis of this good ass writer, when the other side of his writing that he tries to portray us is actually the simple and part that actually pisses everybody off. So I think someone like Rema is not trying to write like a John Baptiste or write like a Sharon, right? Yeah. He's a puncher, he's a rapper, he's on that. That is his strength. That is how he is. And when you classify him as a writer in that aspect, he's very witty with his writing. He's very interesting with his writing. Letting Go is a perfect depiction of why people will consider Fireboy an average writer and Loji a better writer. They are both singing the same thing, but look at how they are. And if you are more of the fan of the hip hop side of Afrobeats, you will pick Loji easily, right? And if you like,
that's so interesting.
But listen to Letting Go again, and listen to, because they're saying
listen to Letting Go. But I'm talking about the what's it called, the, like you said, the hip hop, because we've even talked about this. Anybody who knows me, that I have invested in Logic stocks from time. Like very very few people that are writing to me the way Logic writes. Like, he is spectacular in his delivery and his writing. But I am still more of a R&B girly. So for me, even in the simplicity, like I remember someone kind of using, I don't think they were using it, but the Arista record, right? When she did, what's the name of that song?
Rhythm and
when
Blues?
she says, no, not that one. I don't fall in love on her album. God, what's the name of that song?
Was it?
Lagos Heartbreak.
Lagos. No.
Lagos Love Story.
No, it's Lagos Love Story. Yes.
Lagos Love Story.
Yeah.
Right. So I remember people listening to the song, and at the time, like, some people would be like, "This is so, like, I don't know if you want to call it pedestrian, but sort of with especially the chorus, right?" And I was like, they are setting, like, especially again. I'm not saying that, R&B leaning type songs cannot be, complicated. The delivery and the cadence cannot be. I'm not saying all that, but there is sometimes when you're trying to, how do you put it, communicate a certain feeling about something, that the writing doesn't necessarily need to have all that, because the simplicity is what is communicating that. The atmosphere of the music is what is communicating that. And I don't need all of the, complexities for all of that. Like, for me, like, somebody like with Ecstasy, that's how I felt. Like the tone of the music, the saxophone, even specific, like, words that he was, like, all of that communicates what he's trying to say without the need of a quadratic formula for me to get it.
So I think, because I'm kind of in the middle of this back and forth, because I see your points, and this was even the argument I was making for CK's Sad Romance back in the day, when everyone was pointing to the fact that his writing is very surface level, and evidently it was. But I think there's also an attribute to it, to also being able to convey a message, but being a lot more creative with it, like adding more metaphors, adding more actual, like, edge to it that makes it feel like I don't know, makes it feel like a little bit of your audience is digging up the ingenuity in it, as opposed to spoon feeding them. You know what I mean? So it's like, and I see that, I'm being a weird analogy here, I see that with, like, sitcoms, that 90s sitcoms that would have a laugh track in a certain way. Like, say for Friends, for instance, where they would tell you where the joke is by adding a laugh track and say, "Oh, guys, you're supposed to laugh here." Like, it's basically surface level, as opposed to, like, some type of writing comedically, like, say The Office, where it's, like, very, very hidden jokes that you actually need to discover, like, what's the point of this element here, or what's even the physical comedy here. So it's just adding layers to things in terms of, like,
I suppose.
Yeah, I think
the analogy that you just used.
Yeah.
Of these sitcoms, they both have very heavy, hard-hitting fan bases. The point I'm trying to make. For some people, that simplicity, they don't need the 4x squared plus. Like, they get what you're trying to say. In fact, spoon feed them, they open their mouth. Wow. That's what they want. They don't want to go to the ends of the earth to now come and be digging up like. And for some people, yes, the metaphors, the feeling they need to like kind of not decode, because it's not like you're decoding anything, but like the extra oomph you put on it kind of makes it. Oh, this was not just an easy thing that you just gave me. Like, if you break this down, this means this. Like, I get what you're trying to say. You're making something that is simple. So you can simply get what you're saying, but the way you're describing it is more complex. Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, that sitcom analogy was perfect, because you see the way the people that write for friends. You cannot tell them that it's not the best thing since sliced bread. And the same thing goes for people who are Office fans, right? So for me, it's like I feel like in this, because a lot of our, like you guys said, Afrobeats kind of lineage is very hip hop heavy, right? So I feel like sometimes, I don't want to say we don't overemphasize, but like we obviously want the lamba, we want the groove, we want the cadence, we don't want everything to be low hanging fruit. But I also believe that like sometimes we can forget that sometimes the general population actually wants simple. Sometimes they want easy.
There's an audience for that.
For sure. Audience for it. Me, I'm part of the audience. I love the complicated stuff. Like I will sit down here and break down rap lyrics with you. But sometimes I want an easy listen where it's like incredibly mindless. I didn't need to go to a dictionary or a thesaurus, and I know exactly what you're saying and what you're communicating. I didn't even need to go too far. I like that. So that's my point.
Okay, guys. Sorry, I definitely love the back and forth. I actually wanted, because we have a lot of speakers, and we have a finite amount of time this week, unfortunately. But yeah, man, appreciate the conversation, guys. Taj and Pepe with this one. I know Lumsey wants to chime in. We've not heard from Lumsey. What are you saying, my bro?
All right. So first of all, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody's space.
Okay.
I believe I'm a changed man, because I was hearing some things. Normal Lumsey, I'll interrupt, but I'm a changed man. Shout out to me.
We thank God.
Yeah, we thank God, or whatever you believe in for the atheists. Shout out to Adedamola. Shout out to Casey, because it's rare that people come and speak their mind about music, because they don't want to pander. Shout out to Pepe and all that. So let's get to it. I'm going to talk about Adedamola stroke Fireboy. And I'll say this with all due respect. Brother, there's nobody who is a hip-hop fan that thinks that Rema is a better songwriter than Fireboy. Except your own hip-hop. Now, the one really they do for, I don't know, for Songota. Do you understand? And this is coming from a strong hip-hop head. And like I'm saying it again, there's something that we Nigerians do. We listen to the artist rather than listen to the music. We are listening to Rema rather than listening to what Rema is putting out. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but
expand on it. I think you're leaning towards the brand conversation, but expand on it.
Exactly. So, for example, Rema has a big fan base. We all know that. We all know this, right? So, there's this thing that we do whereby somebody can release a song that is so dope, but because it's like Rema's rival, so we don't want to like say it's so dope. So we start looking for what is not there. But when Rema does the same thing, and we know the song is good, we blow it up. There's no way you will listen to He Is, and you will listen to any Fireboy project, anyone, pick up anyone, even the one that you guys unnecessarily slander, and you will say, I'm talking about album, I'm not talking about the one that the songs that you think Rema, because again, people are listening to what they think Rema can be rather than what he's dropping. Shout out to a Ravage EP. That EP is better than He Is, but He Is not a bad album. I don't agree that it's noise or rubbish, no. Right?
Thank God.
Yeah, I don't agree. I don't think any of these new cats can drop rubbish, to be honest. I just think the stanship has made people bash rivals and hype theirs. That's just it. Everybody has dropped good projects. None of these guys, shout out to Adedamola, none of these guys actually is capable of dropping a nonsense project, except you have Vico hospitality, even hospitality itself, you get. But anyways, what I was trying to say is there is no way you will listen to his and what he is and everything that is there, and then you will listen to any Fireboy project and you say that Rema is a better writer than him. In fact, that's not even the point. Let's even say that's your opinion.
Right.
But you will say that Fireboy is an underwhelming songwriter. Bruh, this is the reason why Buju cannot drop a banger. Because we are over analyzing the music like it's rocket science. Bruh, listen to me. See, if Wadiko drops Mushin to more hits in 2024, man, I promise you, niggas will come up on space. I'll be talking about World War III and how the YDX did not happen, how the rollouts, when we listen to Mushin to more hits, was the song good? Yes. Bewa. That's it. All this was a mere pen game. Again, shout out to Adedamola. I hate, bro, when people talk about Afrobeats and lyrics, he kills me, bro. Ozeba 500 times. Hey, bro. It's a jam, but bro, like, come on now. Again, R&B is R&B. R&B is how it makes you feel. We're not analyzing Nigerian constitution here. Adele dropped Hello and said hello 50 million times in the song, and that is a big hit. If you play Hello for your babe that time and you don't have money, she will consider you. Right? But if Aerostar or Thames dropped Hello now, we'll start saying, oh, when, shout out to the Banga boys though, I know that they are just cruising. But when they are dropping their cruise, you'll be hearing things like Mrs. Hello, something like that. That's what we're doing for Fireboy. Let us start from the first track. Ishe Oluwa. Is it a good song? Obviously. Call Me. Is it a good song? Obviously. If the weekend, like whether you like it.
I understand that approach, but it's a little too binary, bro.
Bruh, see, that's the problem. All these LGBTQ words, I don't care about that. Is it a good song or not? Fine, I don't care about this binary you're talking about. I'm not here for that, brother. There's no album that every song is going to be a cup of tea. You're not Michael Jackson, or probably even Made in Lagos, that is one of the greatest Afrobeat album. In fact, before they come for me, all this one of the greatest Nigerian albums. I'm sure a lot of people hear rumor and delete it. You get what I'm saying? I'm sure. Right?
So what you're saying is that some albums can have skips?
Every album should have skip that you don't like.
Got it. Noted.
Everybody is not like, people are talking about, again, there's another thing that Nigerians have been saying since Made in Lagos dropped. Cohesiveness. Oh God. Tinubu needs to ban music. See, brother, Eman.
Yeah.
An album does not necessarily need to be
cohesive?
BPM cohesive. No, it doesn't have to be BPM cohesive.
Right.
When I mean BPM, it's like it doesn't have to be same tempo. Because again, I promise you, nobody us Nigerians will complain. Will say he's saying this. What did you say about Buju? Monotonous. We were here now, we're on space. Man.
Yeah.
Somebody came and said Buju's album is monotonous. Why? Because you heard Gwagalada. Then you started hearing Pidgin and English, and you said it was the same thing. People try and experiment. You say they're just, the album is not cohesive, it's just scattergun. Somebody tries to, be over rocket science in his lyrics, which is probably someone like a rappers. You say Nigerian music listeners are hypocrites. We criticize artists for the same thing we are doing. We say an artist is trying to, go deep in his lyrics and he sounds corny. But bro, you're also going deep in your lyrics and listening to it. You are looking for Jay-Z word from R&B artist. Are you kidding me? It's like somebody telling Adele now to start dropping lines like she's Kendrick Lamar. Bro, our vocals is part of music now, brother. Please don't emancipate yourself from this music slavery. Like, you can listen to somebody's vocals and it will make absolute sense. I keep using Adele again because she's the perfect person for simple lyrics but wonderful vocals. And we all know when it comes to the vocalism, you get among his set, probably Oxlade that's touching him. If you listen to One Day's Bop, he sounds like Wande Coal.
Yeah.
Give him that credit. That's it. You start looking for whether it was a bop or no. This is the reason why people unnecessarily bashed Playboy, and I feel like he came for it.
No, Fireboy graduated first class out of the one day university, so it's been
I feel like I feel that person is Oxlade, but anyways, that's by the way.
Yeah, Oxlade too is another student. YKB is in that conversation too.
Please, my legend has
there are plenty.
They have started bringing bench players to the first team. YKB. Anyways, shout out to Yema. So
listen. Don't do that to YKB.
I was just trying to be.
Don't do that to YKB.
Eman, I was just trying to be a cocky there. I love YKB. Shout out to shout out to Pepe for putting me on that song. Oh my God, I'll remember later. Anyway, yeah. So like, if you listen to people are talking about ecstasy a lot, and I promise you, if the Weeknd dropped ecstasy, people will be jizzing in their pants.
Oh God!
You reach Adedamola tone. You reach Adedamola tone. Yeah, you see, like we are not listening to the music.
Okay.
We are listening to it because it's from Fireboy. Like, how would Damola be singing? I'll go off the road. You get what I'm saying? Like somebody's saying, I listen to the song with Lagbaja and it's giving me bro. Is the music good? Yes. Stop all these things that we do. Like this thing that we do, we try to analyze. Bro, very soon, all of us will turn mad. We'll start analyzing the BPM, the engineering, we'll start analyzing A&R. Just watch. It's going to happen. Because we are listening to the music as it drops. When the band dropped Entertainer, we all knew he had 10 bangers. Perfect album. Like all of them were bangers. We didn't care about Pen Game. Somebody is talking about Afrobeats, and I'm hearing Pen Game. You go, dude. Anyways, like I'll say it again. So somebody said there's a reason why Peru was one of the biggest song. You know the reason why? Because people that are listening to music for music's sake do not care about Pen Game. What they care about is how the music makes them feel. Peru was literally a freestyle. And literally, it was a bang. Listen to it, it had that bop in it. And of course, you will love it. But bro, if you're talking about lyricism, then let's talk about lyricism. But we're talking about the music. Somebody does not have to drop, DYDX in his album for you to start to enjoy the song. Shout out to Yawa. I didn't even know he dropped Yawa before.
Yeah,
I didn't know he dropped Yawa before.
Crazy.
Yawa,
didn't?
Yawa. Yeah. I actually didn't know. Like, I've
nobody really knew about that
one or
song
twice.
Right.
Yeah, I've probably brought you one or twice. But there was in fact, I want to drop a conspiracy theory. I feel like there was a conspiracy. There was a
conspiracy to silence Fireboy.
Yes.
No.
See, because no. I'm just But then because Playboy was a wonderful album, but I think people, because of our Batman, shout out to him.
All right, Lumsy, let's start rounding off, yeah?
People didn't want, a trifecta from Fireboy. So they start to look at what Playboy did not do rather than what he did. Saying things like, he should go back to his this, he should go back to... But, you see, that's why I love people like Wiz, Bonner, and now Ashake. Because at the end of the day, you will come around. Ashake dropped, Lungu Boy. Go back to now. But I promise you, check their Spotify. They are playing all those songs. They are playing MMS. They are playing worldwide. Why are you people lying? You cannot... How do you tell me that you listen to Change Your Life? I said that's not a bop. Or Basima, even if it's an old jam. It's a bop. Somebody's, every day need me. I mean, this is the proper 10 over 10 album. Like, obviously, I don't give albums 10 over 10, but 14 tracks. If you take away the interlude, I don't know what it was doing there, but, that's fine. If you take away the interlude, it's 13 tracks. Out of 13 tracks, you can call 10 songs that you like. Now, if you do not mess with the album, that's fine. But I'll say it, and I'll say it in my last point. Please, Nigerians, emancipate yourself from music slavery. When an album drops, don't look at your phone. Just put it on. Just start playing the album. Enjoy the album. If the album makes sense to you, fine. If it doesn't make sense to you, fine. But when you start looking for punchlines, like this is not Lil Wayne didn't drop an album. It is Fireboy. Let's listen to the music. Again, let's listen to the music and stop listening to the artist. So that I'll stop overanalyzing it. Right? Thank you so much, guys.
All right, appreciate it.
Thank you, Mumsy. Sorry, I was gonna say we have time limits and stuff.
Yeah,
but
we have about half an hour to go.
Yeah, to go. Yeah. But I think it's also very fascinating that Lunzi said, why would you be mentioning pen game and mentioning Afrobeats in the same sentence? But is that not the same thing that Buju Banton said that you people wanted to crucify him? But I rest.
Okay. Belema, just do another.
I won't respond because I know that if I
No.
Belema is looking for trouble.
No, we'll be here forever.
I swear, she's looking for trouble.
No, I understand. Yeah,
It was just
I understand it.
Statement
Yeah,
made that was not.
I understand it. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Nobody was listening to Buju Banton.
Hello, please. Let's not go there again.
No, but Buju Banton was just jealous. Like,
Okay. Thank you. All right. I'm not too sure if Ose was to before content sensei.
Yeah, Ose was.
Yeah, Ose, real quick.
Ose.
Thank you for everyone's patience, guys.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, bro. Nice to hear from you.
Yeah, thanks. Nice to be here too. I think this is my first time here.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I was going to touch on this pen game P. I think almost everybody has said what I wanted to say initially, but I was just going to touch on this pen game P, especially in Afrobeats. Like, I don't know, like Adia said, I hate that conversation. Everybody on my timeline basically know that. When I hear pen game, like, it pisses me the fuck off. These are pop artists. Why the fuck do you care about pen game for pop records? Like, I don't get it. We don't demand pen game from a Beyonce. So why the fuck are you talking about pen game in Afrobeat? I understand that, okay, one of the formative elements of Afrobeat is hip hop and R&B, and okay, yes. But if you want to be an exceptional writer, that's fine and good. And if you choose not to do Lamba, pop records, people are making hit songs with those pop records. So this conversation about pen game, you go into projects, singles, and you worry about pen game. The thing is the record, is it sweet? Is it fucking sweet? If it's sweet, then that's all. And again, I'll say the consumers basically are not on Twitter. I get that most of the conversations start up on Twitter, but the consumers, the chunk of them, they are basically not on Twitter. So sometimes when you see conversations on Twitter, and I know at times it's hard to ignore, but the large chunk of the consumers are basically not on Twitter. So sometimes you just hear conversations like penging, baba, people on the street, they're fucking with those records. And even when Rema's album dropped, I think it dropped on a Thursday, I can't exactly remember, but I was outside for Lemon Vinyl party, barely 24 hours after the album dropped. The DJ slammed like 5 of those records, and
the crowd was moving.
And everybody was going crazy. This is in fucking Manchester. And then you come on Twitter and you see, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, bro, you're kidding. The large chunk of the consumers, they love these records. But everybody on Twitter want to give up hot takes and talk about, everybody want to be, like Lunzi said, everybody wants to be music heads. Everybody now we are going mad because everybody's an A&R, everybody's a music exec on Twitter. Everybody understand what it means to make a record. But let's give you this job now. Me, you run out. Let's see if you can actually do it. I'm not even saying making the music, but yeah, let's give you a record label. You're an A&R now, okay? Because you the tweet, you get like 5,000 people. They tweet. You're an A&R now. Let's do the work. So and lastly, I tweeted something. I think that was the day Adedamola dropped. One more thing that get me pissed off is when fans or listeners tend to argue with critics, especially. You're a listener. You listen to the record as a listener. A critic goes to the album to listen to the album as a critic. That's his job. So if he tells you this album is, I know you cannot say it's subjective at the end of the day, but you as a fan, you as a listener cannot have the same experience as a music critic while listening to the album. He goes to the album basically to criticize the album, and that's what he's doing. Doesn't mean what part you are saying is good, doesn't mean he didn't see that. He saw it, but he's trying to call your attention as his job to what part is not good. So you as a listener or fan or stan or whatever, you don't have the same experience listening to projects like a music critic. So we just dump down being pen game and all that stuff, cohesiveness or whatever the fuck they say these days. That's just my submission. Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so
Man.
much, Jose. Real quick, Dr.
I'm
Kelvin.
also shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. Sir.
Real quick
Yeah.
before you go, we just have content.
Okay.
Real quick before you go, yeah, we have content.
Yeah, thank you very much,
sorry
Iman, for giving
They
me.
say real quick before you go.
Sorry,
Dr.
Wait. Sorry, Dr. Kelvin. There's a few people before. Sorry, I'm getting muted. Sorry, Dr. Kelvin. There's a few people before you. But yeah, appreciate the patience. Content sensei. What are we saying?
Hello, can you hear me? Hello,
yes,
can you
sir.
hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, welcome, Content Sensei.
Yeah, so straight up, Fireboy DML's album. Is it a safe album? I think it is. But I don't believe it takes anything away from it.
Right.
And we crave experimentation too much these days. Why? If you listen to even the legends, they have like 5 albums. They didn't experiment on every single one.
Yeah.
And there's not everyone they didn't experiment on that is not dope. You listen to them and you know that, okay, I think these days people crave range too much. They forget that people have signatures.
Yeah.
And it's a problem. Fireboy is Fireboy. He's not Rema. Stop trying to force this thing. What happened?
Okay.
It's not
force.
Ashake.
And it's not Ashake. The beauty, you're saying it sounds like LTD. That is Fireboy in his element. That's Fireboy in his element. Why are we trying to complicate everything these days? We are listening to music as if we are trying to mark script. 10 over, okay, this track is 5 over 10, this one is 9 over 10. All of us should calm down. And I think we need to understand one thing. Fireboy had to be safe with this album.
Yes,
because this album is very, very important in his career.
It's critical, bro.
It's very, very important. If Fireboy experiments and does nonsense this time around, it becomes back-to-back albums in people's eye, because I think Playboy is a good album, but the general view on it is it's a flop, and I don't believe it is. But if you go and experiment,
but you saying if you experimented, he isn't. Anyways, go ahead, bro.
Sorry,
I'm saying if it can be he is, it can be he isn't. But if it does not click with the amount of talent that is on ground, with this 19-year-old Kimadi, all these Kimadi TML people are looking at, you're looking at them as baby boys. Give them 3 years.
Yeah.
Give them 3 years. Then you have to compete against those ones. You have to compete against the Victonians, the Rema, that is already having 1 billion streams. You now have 2 albums back to back, and fans forget quickly. Because, bro, I never expected that somebody that dropped LTG and Apollo back to back would be the one who even be debating his 4th album. I believe that he should even be able to take like 2 L's and will be like, no, there's something in there. We still cannot doubt these genius, you understand? But people forget very quickly. So he had to be safe on this album, and there is nothing wrong with being safe. You have to be strategic with your career too. So I understand that part. But being safe doesn't take anything away from the album, because it's a very beautiful album. Obasima transitioning to Need Me was very mad. I didn't even know when the song changed.
100.
Okay.
I didn't even know when the song changed.
You know it's funny. Okay, but go ahead.
I didn't even know when the song changed.
Go ahead.
100. Somebody finally said it.
Go ahead.
I checked it and I was like, mad. This is crazy, bro. Wandeko. It was Wandeko and Wande's Bob. What are we talking about?
Bro, that's exactly what
I'm saying. He did not have. He's not that. That's not who he is. And I believe. I'm even happy he came back home, because he has come to accept. What the fuck was, do you want to roll with a playboy like me? I was listening to Fireboy and I was like, man, let's see if I don't get money this one stage. Not the always. The money, like, it seems the experience, the money, just change you a little bit. Sometimes you just have to understand that.
He said it. He was
change.
like, yeah,
you can change,
sing money like this.
He said he cannot sing the same kind of songs he was singing when he was still suffering, now that he's a billionaire. And I understand that the experience is different, because to us, he's still the same Fireboy, but what Fireboy is seeing every day is different. He's not the same boy that they were rejecting. He's now the guy that is rejecting people or something like that. So he wants to make Playboy.
100 again. 100.
You don't really need to think he's cool. He's cool, we understand.
Right.
But now, Adedamola for me, it's aside the interlude, of course. I think everybody agrees that the interlude was just like, bro, what are we doing? But let's be artistic with our work. Let's put a little bit of pizzazz into it, and add finesse and make it look like it's your thing, it's your album. It's not my album. I can't sing, so it's all good. But I think we look for experimentation too much these days, and I think in the next 2 years we'll be looking for another thing. There is no experimentation. That will be what's in trend. And in another 2 years, we look for another thing. But after 10 years, we look at these albums and we judge them and realize that
you don't have to experiment on every damn album. Everybody does not have to do a Victoni. Everybody does not have to do a Rema. You can do your thing, and it's still very dope. And for me, Adedamola is dope. Very, very dope. Like, you can say the writing doesn't give the complexity you want, but Fireboy does not have to be the complex artist. You understand?
Yeah.
That simplicity is what sells him to his audience.
I think emotions more.
The emotion, he knows how to figure emotions so well.
I think that's Fireboy's. I think that's Fireboy's like superpower. It's just triggering some emotions.
He does the best. He does
And
the best
he does
when
it
he
with
keeps
his
it
musical
simple.
environment.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
He does the best when he keeps it simple.
Yeah.
And I think that's what was missing with Playboy. At the point, it felt like every song felt like it had a purpose to fit a perfect album. Like it was becoming too complicated.
Right.
Music is not science, so it's art. And we have to understand that. So let us vibe with this shit.
All right.
Anybody that does not feel it, I can understand. But most importantly, you have to be safe with this album, because if you try nonsense and you fuck up, you are going down. And to me, this comeback is complete. And Nigerians don't remember.
Yeah. That one there.
I'm on shout out to you, man. Content. Shout out to you.
Appreciate the content. Appreciate it also as well. Real quick, Lost Boy. We're doing well with time. We have a few minutes to go. But
Lost Boy carry mic, not to scatter.
Lost Boy,
Go
definitely as finite as you can. Just to, if we can get one more speaker after you, that would be great.
Okay. You see the way I disappeared after that Omale's interview? Very calm, very
cutesy,
very demure.
Not on this space, please, and thank you.
No. See, Fireboy fans, so all of you are coming to come and do the defense. Everybody's speaking English.
Fireboy fans care.
Wait,
Lucy, I beg.
Even Casey, that has never crashed out before, the stand in him just came out. The stand in everybody is coming out. All I want to say is we cannot deny the criticism, but at the same time, me personally, I enjoyed the Adedamola album. I came here surprised to see everybody like bashing some of the. I actually did not enjoy that Need You song, Sha. Not if I did enjoy it. Like I liked it, but I would have expected. I don't know. Me personally, I would have said that.
Lucy, can you please?
I should have said that the song on the album, like if we were to put like Basima on the album, like probably it can be like Basima extended version.
Right. Oh, you mean you're talking about Need Me, right?
Yes,
Thank you.
The Need Me on his own, like the non-as, like
there's too much overlap from Obasima.
Yes.
It's too much
like,
for me. It
just
doesn't have enough of his legs, but yeah.
Yeah, just put it Obasima or extended version, and let people be confused. Like, what is the extended version there? And let us get like 5 or 6 minutes worth of Obasima, and I think, I think for me, like for a listening experience, so I enjoyed the album. I love that people are saying. Adedamola, that's not you. Come back to being the child of whom you are. Don't follow bad boys.
Don't follow bad gang. No, this Pokemon.
Don't tattoo your body.
But like, I just want to say like some of the criticism that people or some of the strengths that people are claiming Fireboy is like. I remember when we were analyzing CK's album.
Sad Romance, yeah.
Yeah, Sad Romance, and like some of all these things are what like people were like they were using to criticize like the Sad Romance.
Yeah.
This Sad Romance.
Mm-hmm,
yes. Mm-hmm. And like now these are the things that people are using to praise Fireboy. I just find it.
Are you calling us hypocrites?
No. Me, I did not like the
Hey, there's no us in this. There's no us in this. Everybody talks about this space as if there's us. Everybody has their individual contributions here, and they stand by their contribution codes.
Are you calling us minus Ima hypocrites?
Hello,
I did like the Sad Romance album too, but yeah. I think that music is complicated, right? I feel like, to be honest, listening to the discourse from I won't say like I'm a big Fireboy fan as I was before, but listening to the discourse like on the neutral side just makes it funny.
Right.
Because like we can see both ends, or I can see both ends of what everybody's trying to portray, but like I just feel like music is a opinionated sport.
Yep.
Right. Everybody would always have their own opinions on what certain things should be right, what certain things is not right. It's like democracy. The loudest voice is the winner. If you can see how all of us championed together and said Ozeba is a hit, did not become a hit. We spoke it into existence. That is what I would say everybody should do.
You know, go choke Rema inside, kid.
Gather your camp.
That'll be you again.
Hello.
Gather your camp and fight. But I think that's what I want to say, sir.
In summary,
then no. I just want to say that when the woman that is breaking Lil J's heart should never stop. That's what. Like,
all right. Appreciate it. I know we have two more speakers. We're just about to get into time. 9V, real quick, and then
all right. Thank you very much.
If you can simplify in the next say 3-5 minutes, I would appreciate that.
Yeah,
I'll be
cool with it. I'll be quick with it. Thank you. All right. So, as always, I really did not go deep into album analysis because you get disappointed with what the market will do. So I'll just talk about the IVI, what I feel about it. So personally, I think I'm biased towards the album because my name is Adedamola.
Oh yeah.
It's not easy. It's not easy to find an album named Emmanuel out there, but you can see an album named Adedamola. So yeah. That's by the way.
Nice.
So all right, I just want to talk about the.
They never buy one motivational speaker.
I just want to talk about the identity, the vision, and the intention of the album. I want to say I really appreciate the team Fireboy picks with the album, the love, joy, and gratitude through the album. It shows even though the so-called Twitter music or the music, the Afrobeats set in Nigeria really wants to paint that his last project is actually a fucked up one. He really did not let that shows in his writing or wherever he does in the album. There's this level of gratitude, there's this level of joy, positivity, let me put it that way. Throughout the album, the tone is there, the theme is there.
Sorry, which album? Playboy?
That. No. This last album,
okay,
Adedamola.
Sorry, okay.
Yeah, positivity in the album, and I really appreciate that because you see, persons they really like to put whatever it is they are going through, and it's good though. But I just like the fact that he didn't do that in the album, and also another thing I think I appreciate in the album is we didn't see the usual features in the recent Afrobeats projects in the album. And I feel like in some way it shows the level of genuinity.
Sorry, who are the usual features?
Shadi Poppy, Odumodobo, Ashake, and
Right. Yeah. Good observation. Okay.
Yeah. So I feel like there's a bit of genuine wherever in the album. And also, last I just want to say something about what's it called? Pen Game, songwriting, Pen Game, and Afrobeats. I will be quick with it. I promise. I'll be quick with it. I feel like Tim said something about it yesterday. Maybe you should check the interview. But I would like to say this: Afrobeats is vibes. Shakomo is like one of the first recorded Afrobeat sound, and it makes no sense if you're talking about Tim and they just want to have fun. They just want to catch vibes. The moment you are even making so much sense in your Pen Game, you are going out of what Afrobeat is all about. Just stick with the vibe, stick with the cruise.
Wait, I beg. Let's finish, I beg.
Okay. If you want to go,
you see that food you want to cook, hold it.
I don't want to explain further because of the time, but I would like to say this though. Majority of persons on the sale believe Omali has a very good Pen Game. They believe, I don't know if it's true, I believe that too. They believe Omali has good Pen Game. But sometimes when you listen to Omali songs, you would have danced to it like 4 or 5 times. It's when you are now calm, you will now listen, okay, this guy is even crying on the song. And we have been dancing for the past 4 or 5 months that we're listening to it. It's because there is vibe and cruise into it. The Pen Game is like a secondary thing. in Afrobeat, not the primary thing. Afrobeat is deep rooted into vibe and cruise. That's just what I want to say. If you want me to explain for that, I can go for that. But there's no time on my side.
Yeah, I think your
So I'll
point is
stop here.
clear. Yeah, I think your point's clear. All right, appreciate it.
We believe the earth is flat because the earth is round though. That was what I had to say.
I beg. See, I think it's high time that, like Nigerians are really, God has to really help all of us, because if anybody should say that Afrobeat does not have substance and anybody should be angry, I think all of us should be caned. We all need to be caned, because we'll be the ones to defend this same Afrobeat ours, and we'll come on
If
here
we
to
need
talk about
substance, yeah. If you need
how there's
substance,
no,
we
like,
listen to reggae. Reggae and R&B.
Anyway,
please,
sorry, Emma,
Beg,
please
sorry,
give me
just
2
man,
seconds.
all right, real
Let's
quick.
do
We don't have time. We don't have time.
You actually do not have time. We don't have time.
Substance is not lyricism.
All right. Let's drop it there, because we've had this conversation previously.
Man.
All right. No, real quick.
Hey, man.
Yes,
Quick one.
there's Dr. Kelvin. Please make it quick. Thank you.
Yeah, good evening, everyone.
evening.
Good morning, good afternoon. It's my first time here, and I really appreciate the opportunity. I'll keep it short and simple because I reviewed Adedamola the day after it came out, and it is a very good album. It's a good album. I rated it 9/10.
Okay.
Now, a lot of people have said some things about it not being it didn't experiment, so it's not safe, and we understand. But it is a proper Fireboy album. Actually, one of the best of his projects so far. If you compare, I know we have a lot of attachment to LTG and Apollo. Both of them were very good, but in terms of thematically being very coherent, Adedamola is a sublime body of work. Now, there are some things many of us may not understand what Fireboy was facing. This was make or break for him. It's very crazy when you have Playboy. It's very crazy when you have one of your biggest songs. Peru was Fireboy's, arguably his biggest song, and then it's on a project with Bandana and all, and then commercially the project it was in was not, received mixed reviews. So it can mess with an artist's head, and that is.
Oh shoot, we lost you there. Hello?
Okay.
Yeah, you're back.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah, that is where Fireboy was. So he was not in a very good space mentally, but then he was able to put together this body of work. So I think this serves as vindication and places him head and above, among his contemporaries. Now, when it comes to comparison, a lot of people have said things about Pen Game. We should not talk about it. We are over criticizing music. The truth is, the only way to move Afrobeat forward is to at least have some quality control. You cannot take away criticism. It is by criticizing, it's a sport, okay? It's by criticizing this work that people can actually be pushed to get better. Otherwise, work can keep getting devalued. We can just enter and sing anything and then release it. And before you know it, the quality will, people will turn to listen to other things. I remember when it was, you go to a club, it was foreign music. Now you go to a club and it's just Nigerian music, Afrobeat throughout. And it is because the quality came up. So we must always criticize. So it's not an issue. Now, compared his, a lot of people look down on his. In fact, I was among the first people that were not happy with the experimentation. But eventually, when I reviewed his, listened to it thoroughly, I gave it a 9/10. 9/10 because Rema actually experimented. So when you put both albums side by side, they are very decent projects. He's an Adedamola. The only difference is, and when we talk of Pen Game, let us not forget, Rema is a rapper that can sing. Fireboy is a singer. Now, when it comes to lyricism, we know rappers are, you can't. Rema, both in delivery, both in writing, Rema, his is a well-written project. If you're talking of engineering and all, when a pop song a song for a singer, you don't just judge definitely with the lyrics. You also look at the melodies and everything. But then when it comes to writing, scheme structure, rhyming, Rema is bad. He killed it with his. I know a lot of people, you can disagree. Of course, we can't agree on everything. I personally also think Lungu Boy, I gave it a 5/10 personally, because I felt, something was missing. I hope Asake comes back and gives us another dope album.
Nice.
But these are all personal opinions. And, this is from somebody that gave Mr. Money with the Vibe 9/10. So there was something that was thematically missing in Lungu Boy.
Nice.
It may be doing very well everywhere, on all platforms. Of course, when you feature Travis Scott and feature Central C and feature Stormzy and feature, why won't it stream? It will stream very well.
Right.
But then you look at, skating, some songs did not belong to that album. And this is just me talking,
Right.
my own personal opinion. So we must really hold our artists, their feet to the fire, because that is the only way we can get the best from them. But
Okay.
I think so far, Adedamola is one of the best projects I've dropped this year, together with Rema's His.
Okay.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Appreciate it so much.
Man, please, quickly.
Yes, Icon. Real quick, Icon to help us close. Appreciate everyone that's contributed so far. What are you saying, Icon?
All right, so I would just say my opinion on Adedamola is fairly what the combination of what Lumsey, Content Sensei, and 9B have said.
Mm-hmm.
Now, music is not science, music is art. Me personally, I would say one thing with Playboy. The reason why people see Playboy as a flop album, to me, is a very, very good project. But the reason why they see it as a flop album is the commercial success of most of the album, apart from Peru and Bandana. You hardly see a video of Fireboy performing Sofri, or the songs with Chris Brown, or even the song with Rema. To me, this album here, this Adedamola album, once he tours with it, if he performs a song like Ready in a 50,000 capacity crowd, all lights on him, just him and the guitar and the keyboard,
and the keys,
bro, it is madness. The whole pen game, this thing. See, if you want pen game, remove the beat from the music, write down the lyrics, and just be singing it to yours. Just be saying it out loud. Hip hop is what needs pen game, not Afrobeats. Not like it doesn't need it, but it's not the major factor that we're looking at there. Afrobeats is more of melody. Sometimes I always wonder, Fela, what was Fela's pen game? Fela would play instrumental for like 1 minute first, before you would even now come and talk about socio-political issues. So the whole issue with pen game, I know I'm a Burna Boy fan, and everybody always goes back to that interview that Afrobeats has no substance. But that is not the major factor in it here. What Adedamola did in this project, to me, is a project of two halves. From track 1 to track 7, we can see melodious lover boy kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Immediately got to One Day's Bob, he went party mode down to track 13. Then the last track, the Jones interlude. So to me, it's a perfect project. Now, Rema's Homecoming, I want to now use this to go to Rema's Homecoming. When he came out, music critics, and I've forgotten who said it, but he said the way we as music listeners listen to music should not be the way a music critic would listen to it. Shout out to Adedamola on that. His own ears are tuned to pick out things that we might not even see. Now, when someone here said when they played Rema's album at a party the next day, people were going mad. Ozeba Merchant, that's art. He has expressed himself creatively.
Yep.
There's no science to it. It's not mixing sodium and chlorine to give you salt. It's artistic expression. That's the first thing music is. It's not about is it going to tap? Is it going to the way people are saying this Adedamola as a make or break, bro? It is Fireboy as an artist. He's not Dangote. It's not an album that it must hit $20 million for me to know I've made profit. We are complicating these things too much. We as listeners, if you just listen to an album, you enjoy it, simple. But when we now start making it look like as if it's a make or break, or if Fireboy did not do this album well.
Yeah, I think make or break goes to make or break goes to capitalism, bro. At the end of the day, these guys are commercial artists, right?
Emma, if we are being honest here,
we do know that streams is not even the major source of income for a big artist. Shout out to Snoop Dogg. Now, the major source of income for a big artist is stores, merchandise, and brand. Those three things I've called are what Playboy missed, if we are being honest. There was no Playboy tour. Unlike Apollo.
I swear there was.
I don't know if it was a mistake or something. Peru did a whole lot of things for Fireboy. But according to what Dr. Kelvin just said, it is strange that Peru is in that album, both the original and the remix, and the album is still seen as a flop. Then I feel it's about the whole structuring of what comes after the album. You get? So when we now say, I think the same Playboy has done 500, is it 500 million or something on Spotify, that it came out earlier this year and people were like saying, is this not the album that they are calling a flop? Fireboy did not really milk that project. He did not take it far. I still listened to it this past week before I listened to Adedamola, and I'm like, what exactly is the flop? Even the Playboy persona that people are saying, Fireboy is your this thing. There are only 2 songs there that actually pertain to Playboys, which is Playboy itself and Ashawo. So the remaining songs there are love songs. So what are Nigerians happy about that? Fireboy is this lover boy that we want. Only 2 songs there. The name is just Play. Even a Playboy itself will still love somebody at the end of the day. So what is our problem? Please, I just feel like this, for this project here, he showed us his whole Fireboy essence. A good project of 2 halves, a true student of one, the cool, true diversity, and that is what it just is. If proper tours are done with this project in different countries, US, UK, Europe, like the way it was that Peru period.
Just the post-marketing.
Okay, Samuel Gbemudia Stadium is not proper tour, but UK, US, proper. No, now every day.
No, bro. No, there's me. I'm not. One thing I would never do is to look at Afrobeats to the world and then downplay the effects of the Nigerian audience here. These guys are our artists. What Rema has done, Obemudia Stadium, it is written in history. He shut down his home stadium. What Jaco does at Dreamville is part of his history, even as big as Jaco. Same with Drake at OVO. So no downplaying of
but don't mind me. I'm just
he's just cruising.
All right, kind nigga.
All right, Icon. Appreciate it. We're definitely going over time, but I appreciate everyone that has been able to add to the conversation. It's been fun. It's been enlightening. Okay, a lot of different sides to see the Fireboy Adedamola review. This is essentially why we love having these, because a lot of us can exist in our silos and just have one train of thoughts, but it's nice to see how other people can experience the same thing differently, so appreciate everyone that's able to add to the conversations. We are trying to engineer the spaces to be a lot more concise moving forward. That's exactly why there's a lot of pressure over time today, to be honest. So hopefully we are low-key getting more accustomed to the confined duration of the spaces moving forward. So let's see how we cope, and appreciate everyone that obviously makes time on Monday evenings to do it. And we'll be here next week by God's grace. And without any shadow of doubt, we'll touch on topics that we did not get to really get to today, like Rema's homecoming. I definitely want to talk about it much more expansively, but we've kind of briefed, glossed around it, but hopefully we get to do that next week. And Wiz has also teased something to be released as well, so that's something to be talking about next week. So looking forward to the conversations. If you've not followed this account, definitely follow to tap in. We'll be uploading some replays on podcast platforms, say Spotify and Apple, if you guys want to tap in case you missed the conversations here, and just to be a lot more a lot more expansive than Twitter itself. All right, guys, appreciate it, and we'll catch you guys next week. Hope you guys have a blessed week. We out.